Okay, there we go. Let's blip, 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 blip. Look at my channel. Am I doing it? Am I a live person? I don't do posts. Sure, sneak peek of your next video. No, I don't do that. I should be streaming, right? Is that streamed? There we go. This is the one. Okay. So apparently I need to. I don't know if I need to turn up TeamSpeak or not, but someone can yell at me about that. Copy. Close that. Put that back here. Uh, it's Stupid Court with me, the Stupid Man. Okay. All right. I don't even know if that text is even legible. I don't know if that's even worth putting in there. Suppose I could make it technically bigger because I'm literally just going to be like sitting here or going up. Let's see here, this way, right? Standing in front of the courtroom. And if I make it bigger, that's going to cover up their face. I think I just gotta leave there. Maybe mess with the font size or something. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, think about it. I get to shove food and water in my face. And I'm turning down the game sounds a bit because I don't want them that loud. Oh, wait, I didn't actually say it's court. Wait. Okay. Water and shove some cookies in my face because, you know, Stanley loves cookie. I think there's something about fucking Blackwater that makes everyone just like they're just so shiny. Or maybe it's the courtroom. I don't know. Like Stanley is just like he's either He's just really sweaty. He's having a sweaty day today. Let's see if that helps. Nope. Still nice and shiny. Just oof. It's like I've just I don't know. Maybe there's just something in this courthouse that just makes people just like, yep, everything is just wet in here. It's just a wet courthouse. Alright, so I guess we'll just do newspaper for now. I'm standing here, a blinking newspaper, giving myself epilepsy. Oh, guess it. I'm just gonna look like it's fine, whatever. So what you're seeing in the bottom right is my opening statement. Come to our world, blah blah blah. Who the Mr. Brighton? Who should be whom Mr. Brighton, wantonly and recklessly attacked, had succumbed to her wounds. Succumbed to her wounds. Had succumbed to her wounds. This all could have been avoided. This comedy. I shouldn't say comedy of errors because people actually think it means a comedy, which is not what. Anyway, this whole ordeal been avoided. Mr. Brighton just allowed law enforcement to do their duties. Just reported the crime. Reported the crime. And stopped and did not engage in vigilante justice. So the thing is, I know Crumbetti is going to bring up, or somebody's going to be bringing up, so yesterday in Saint Denis, narrative team did a big event where it's like anti-unionists were assaulting Saint Denis, citizens and law enforcement fought off the the anti-unionists, and apparently some of them are getting medals. I don't know what that means, but that's apparently the thing. And Mr. Brighton was one of the people there, allegedly. So he's going to be getting a medal for this. My biggest, there's a lot of things that they're going to, that I believe Crumbetti is going to attempt to bring up, and that'll be an interesting thing because Crumbetti is going to take the tact of saying that Mr. Brighton didn't know that that was law enforcement. He's going to feign ignorance. There's also going to be a discussion about a knife possibly being used against Mr. Brighton. There's going to be a whole bunch of things that are going to kind of go on here. It's essentially to set up for a civil case later with Mr. Brighton. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I don't think Crumbetti's going to have a leg to stand on here, but we'll see how it goes. And I don't believe my attempted murder charge really is going to work. Or what I actually say the charge was. What did I say? Discovery. Here's the discovery that I wrote up. So 1 count of attempted murder, 3 counts of assault of a civil servant, 1 count of resisting arrest, 1 count of unlawful discharge of a weapon. Yeah, actually, this should be there should be another count of assault, but we went with attempted murder rather than manslaughter uh, because that person ended up dying. So, what am I looking for? That's what I'm looking for. Where am I at? No, it's back over here. Not murder. Yeah, this would be manslaughter. We went with a lower charge as opposed to hold him on a hut. Because again, like we are trying to give him a lesser charge rather than manslaughter because it did result in the death of somebody. So we tried to take it easy on him. I didn't want to hold him indefinitely until trial, and that would really suck because we had to push it for a week because of Easter and all that. So he just would have been stuck in jail this entire time. But he's fine. Uh, ah. Right. And then I'm fairly certain everyone's got access to the discovery. I might have to give this to Lorray. But we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I'm pretty certain that we got to double check. Pretty sure it's happening in Blackwater. Yeah, being that Saint Denis just got messed up, so. I do like staring at nothing for Stanley. His usual pre-trial pounding of cookies and water. And people of Highwater really, well, Stanley specifically, I guess. I'm worried about his digestive system. He is mostly cookie dough. That is what he is made of. Jesus. God damn it. Trial starting. You have 2 injured? Oh. That newspaper really does not want to be in my hands. Nope, it's just. Nope. It is unhappy to be here. So I. Okay, I guess we just smoked the pipe then. Well, I appear to be covered in sweat. Yeah. Yeah. Excuse me. No, it's not a good sign that someone's court. I don't see anybody else. So, and then I see a 2 injured telegram. Maybe, maybe I should take a look out there. Maybe it's worth a little looky loo because court starts at 6 minutes. And there's no law enforcement here. Oh, there's the justice. Chief Justice?
Oh. All right, Mr. Whitmore, you doing all right?
Pretty good, sir. Sorry, didn't mean to yell in your ears there.
No problem. You doing all right this evening?
Uh, bit concerned. We're 6 minutes till, and I'm not seeing opposing counsel.
And neither am I, but we're here. The state's doing our part. Hopefully they show up because, to my understanding, it was supposed to be a big case. I didn't even know about it.
Oh, I wouldn't say it's a big case. I think Your Honor will find it's a very straightforward case.
All right, understood.
It is, however, a case. We will see how things go. But did you get a copy of the discovery packet?
I have not.
Let me slide you that then. So, the discovery packet, which is this, basically is just it's all the things that can come up in a trial that the state, my side, can use to. Where is he at? Sorry, to bring forth as evidence. Charles LeRae. There we go. All right, I think all right, just slid. And this is the thing that drives me up the wall. I hate it so much. It makes me so angry. There we go. I think that's in your pocket now, sir.
Let's see.
For Justice Graves, I've been adding charging documents to the front of these things, so that way justices can have a quick glance of what you should expect to see.
Perfect. I got $20 Crumb Betty. I guess one of the best lawyers money can buy. I guess.
Your Honor, I mean, I think he says that self-deprecatingly, but honestly, you get more than your money's worth for that $20.
Oh, 100%. I even told him I would raise my price. He said, "No, I'm good."
Yep. I mean, he's still getting paid by the state, so he's totally fine. He's comfortable, I would say.
That's good. Hey, anybody that wants to do the job, that's all that matters.
Yes. Well, I mean, I would push back on that. People who want to do the job and the people who can actually do the job.
well, yeah. I mean, both in the same grain. I'm not gonna let somebody make a mockery of it, but
yes, no,
I mean,
Mr.
somebody that's
Corbetti,
actually putting effort, then no problem.
No, I very much. He is not. He's not in this. He has not been in this vocation for very long, and he is not, I would say, as learned as I am. However, he is an excellent addition to the lawyers of this place.
His suits bring a certain panache to the court.
They definitely do. You get what you see with that man, I think.
100%. Let's see, who's that over there? We got one. There's 3 people over there, but I don't know who they are.
I'm uncertain myself. I know we have some lawmen around, and just for you, Your Honor, there may be some people with warrants coming into courts. They will not be affecting arrests until after they're in the courtroom, if that is all right with Your Honor.
That's fine.
Okay. Because we just want to make sure that they're clean of weapons rather than try to chase them out down here. Might as well just have them in docile and weaponless.
Right. And then have whoever's manning the door just go ahead and lock it so they can't run out.
Mm-hmm. But one of them might be actually a witness for the opposing counsel, so I didn't want to, lock her up. I wanted to allow her to actually testify, as opposed to just lock her up and just be, I could be that kind of lawyer, but this time doesn't really need it. But if you'll excuse me, Your Honor, I'm going to talk to one of my witnesses briefly just to make sure they know some things.
Yep. Thank you.
Howdy.
Director, if you've got a moment.
Yeah.
Howdy.
Still can't believe you guys don't have keys to this courthouse.
Right. It's kind of strange, isn't it?
Yeah, let's go to my office real quick.
Mhm.
Say my office, but I mean Miss Lister's office. So, how you feeling? You ready to do some testimony?
Oh, I need. What did you say?
How are you feeling? You ready for testimony?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so, yeah.
All right. So basically, I'm gonna have you run through the entirety of everything. I mean, your testimony and Sean's testimony is gonna have some overlap. Um, I'm probably going to just have you tell what you recollect happening that day, which is, from what my understanding is, Miss Halo was released, or Hilo. She attacks Miss Moore. She runs. Miss Moore is on the ground. Hilo runs away. Mr. Brighton starts shooting. You guys order him to stop. He stops. You chase down Miss Hilo after her horse is shot down. You find her unresponsive in a bush. You tell Sean to go talk to Mr. Brighton while you handle Miss Hilo. You take Miss Hilo to a doctor. She is pronounced dead, I'm assuming, at that point.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you come back to the sheriff's department, or the Western Rangers department. Eventually, hear gunfire, and then see.
No, that's why I ran back, because I heard the gunfire. But yes.
Okay, so you were at the hospital, and then you ran back.
Yeah, I was dealing with the doctors in the middle of the street. They didn't bring her to the hospital even, because they just rode in town whenever we walked past Thomas.
Okay.
Mm.
So you were definitely
Sounds
within earshot of gunfire, which you then leave her to go see that, and you then see Sean being shot by Mr. Brighton.
Yes.
Okay.
No, I don't think he got shot.
Sean?
Yeah, I don't think he got shot.
Sean definitely got shot.
Well, I just saw I heard gunshots, or a lot of shots, and then I just saw them kind of scuffle around a little bit, and then I saw Sean drop, and then
Oh, okay.
I fired guns, yeah.
So you heard the gunfire. Sean got shot during, I believe that. I could be I hope I'm not mistaken on that, but I know gunfire was exchanged, and Sean said that he got shot once at least.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll get that on testimony. The thing is, you didn't witness it, so. But then after Sean's on the ground, you see then Sean's brother come out of the Western Rangers office while you're shooting at Brighton, and then you both shoot down Mr. Brighton. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, should be pretty straightforward. That's a problem. That's a real big problem that she didn't see Sean get shot. I'm not trying to panic right now. Okay. Remember, as always, when you're on the stand, be it my questions or opposing counsel's questions, you can always ask us to rephrase it. If there's something you don't know, you can always answer, I don't know. Don't ever try to, put something that you're just like, I think this happened, just whatever you witnessed, heard, or saw. You know what I mean? You know, you've done this before. It's not your first rodeo.
I'm so sure he didn't get shot.
So, he didn't shoot Sean?
I don't think so.
Well, I need to clear that up before I give my opening, because it kind of requires that. All right, well, I'm going to not talk to you anymore, and I got to talk to Sean very, very quickly. Well, that's not good. Because you may just not have seen it, or... I don't know. I need to find Sean.
Gotcha. I'll assume the position.
Hello, Stanley. Hello, Ava.
Hey, Krebs.
There we go. No.
Sean, already enter the building?
Okay.
Sean has already.
All right, sir. Mind your manners. Keep your head off.
Okay, sir.
There you are.
Thank you.
Howdy, Knox. Thank you for coming down.
Okay. Well, I gotta get that. I need to turn up, TeamSpeak some more, because it sounds quiet as hell to me. Please say this is the right side.
I don't know where Thomas's lawyer is, if I'm honest, but
Beautiful. I mean, anybody wants to be
All
heard.
right,
just
really
search
quickly,
it. I mean,
Sean.
If not,
I need to borrow you for a second.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
that's good.
I apologize, Your Honor. We're still getting all our ducks in a row.
You're fine. I just told the marshal 210 and it's fine.
Okay.
Is he not here? Yeah, boy.
We're just gonna go over here, Sean.
Okay. What's the epiphany?
It's not an epiphany. Actually, I don't. I don't want you two listening to each other's testimony. That wouldn't be proper. So I got to talk to Sean just briefly by his lonesome.
Okay. Okay, so
Yep, I'm whispering.
Okay. So run me back. I was under the impression that that Mr. Brighton, once he drew his gun on you, he shot you. He actually hit you with his weapon.
He did.
Oh, he did shoot you.
Yeah, I received an arterial wound from it.
Okay. Okay. All right. Did you report that to anybody else?
No, I kept it between myself and the doctor, but I believe that doctor,
Fuck.
if Miss Murr, Jessica Murr, if she is in the crowd, you could probably call her as a witness. It was her and a assistant doctor who treated me.
Miss Murr. Okay. I might have to do that, and I hopefully Crumbetti will be feeling generous.
oops. No, this way.
All right, that's all, Sean. Thank you. So the reason that you don't have the two witnesses there. Sorry, that was me, Marshall. I've taken people over here. Lock it. Can I shut this fucking door?
Staying out of trouble, I hope. I thought so. Yes, ma'am. Outstanding citizen.
Now I can't fucking lock this door. Okay, you know, it's not my fault. Not my job. Going back in here. Okay.
Mr. Stanley, will Miss Lister be joining us today?
Unfortunately, she will not be. And I may. I was hoping to have some time with you after, Your Honor, to discuss some things.
That's fine.
That will be a part of our discussions.
Yeah, that's fine. Miss Baker will not be able to attend today.
Okay.
So whatever notes you need, do your best to jot them down.
Yes, I will. I'm pretty good at keeping things in my head, so we will.
Yep.
We'll have a nice record for her when she wants to transcribe it, if she chooses to.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yep.
Is that everybody out of the lobby?
We've seen Mr. Crumbetti, right?
We might
Yeah.
still be
He's trying
receiving some
to
officers,
represent the guy in the cell right now.
but I believe
Crumbetty's
it's
on
What?
his way too. He was just taking on another case.
Oh, okay. Yeah, perfect. I saw him down there. His suit looked nicely pressed.
Mm-hmm. Surprisingly.
Does anyone?
I told them that they have till 2:10, otherwise I'm going to close off doors.
Nah, like, you know, if he's taking on work, don't. We'll give him 2:15 if need be. I'll be happy to let people trickle in. I'd rather
Alright.
have more bodies than nobody.
Have we seen the accused?
Yes. Behind you, next to Misty.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Good. All right. Yeah, I would. Yeah. Okay. Well, Crumbetti's around this one, and afterwards, I may need to speak with you a bit. This pertains to some plans for ESO that I've been thinking about.
Okay, sure.
Okay, I'm here. All right, perfect.
Howdy, Mr. Crumbetti.
Hello, how are you doing? Hello, you're great and powerful. You're right. Yeah, good to see you again and all that.
Good to see you, my friend. Heard you just got some more work.
Yeah. It was a whole mess. But yeah, we're working on it. But right now, I'm focused on my Mr. Client over there, Thomas. So yeah.
Perfect. I just wanted to ask you, with you taking on that other case, would you like to go ahead and have the pre-trial just to set things up for that, or would you wait?
I think he's pleading guilty, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yeah, I think they're already sentencing him. So yeah.
Understood. I was just trying to be speedy for you, my friend. That's all.
No, I understand. Thank you. Yeah, it was tough getting here. I heard Saint that he had quite a bit of
So,
thing,
no
but
way.
all right. So are we doing the trial after or before the open court starts?
With
Like,
how
what do we-
how little crowd that we have, I want to open it to the public first. Get through that.
Perfect.
That way we can just focus on y'all.
Wonderful. All right, let me try to get up here. My knees are bad. There we go. All right. Wonderful.
Can we make sure that nobody else is waiting out in the lobby so we can begin.
Oh.
I don't want to.
So it sounds like we're doing open court first. I'm going to turn up TeamSpeak because apparently most people are low. I have a hard time hearing now. Playback. Let's kick up that volume. Then I'll turn down Crumbetti if I need to because he is loud.
Thank you, Mr. Nixon. Good seeing you, sir. All right. As far as my lawman, whoever was just involved, I heard there was 2 arrests that just happened. Good job. Thank you for being safe. Thank you for keeping us all safe and following the law. Outside of that, let's go ahead and begin open court. April 12th, 1900. Honorable Charles LeRae is presiding. I have Mr. Stanley Whitmore here as the interim district attorney for the state of Highwater. I have Marshall Kretz acting as the bailiff for this session. I'm going to start it off with public affairs. Is there anything that anyone needs to address before we begin with Whitmore versus Highwater? Or not Whitmore, sorry. My apologies, Mr. Stanley.
I mean,
My
I
apologies.
appreciate that. I will be the state. I am the state, Your Honor.
You understand. You get what I'm saying. But before other pressing matters. Going once. Twice. All right. Get the defendant up to where everybody needs to be, and we can begin.
So we'll see how this all goes.
Give Mr. Crumbetti as much time as he needs real quick.
Oh, yep, here we go.
You're fine, my friend. If you need some more time, that's fine.
All right, Thomas, whenever you're ready. Don't hurt yourself. I know you're a war hero.
Oh,
now
that's
and all.
Thomas. I thought that was Luke.
Hello. Now it's good to see you, Lorraine.
Good to see you, Mr. Thomas. All right, let's see here. I'll get this docket here. All right. April 4th, date is the 12th, year 1900. Defendant's name, Thomas Brighton. Are you he, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
And who is your counsel?
Mr. Crumbetti.
Mr. Crumbetti. Good to see you again, sir. And who is representing the state for the record?
This would be Stanley Whitmore.
All right, Mr. Stanley, we're going to start off with your opening statement, sir.
Appreciate that, Your Honor. On April 1st, 1900, a domino effect of poor choices ultimately led to the shooting of multiple law enforcement officers and the death of Sarah Hilo. This all starts with Sarah Hilo being released from the Western Ranger's office after time served for previous crimes. Outside of the office, Thomas Brighton and Misty Moore were speaking with a few law enforcement officers. Then the first domino falls. For reasons unknown, Sarah Hilo suddenly lunged and choked Misty Moore. Truly a criminal act, but something that anybody was not in immediate danger other than Miss Moore. Hilo acted so suddenly that law enforcement did not immediately react. Thomas Brighton then spoke up as law enforcement started to act to remove Sarah Hilo from Misty Moore. An act which Thomas should be commended for. He said something to get law enforcement to act. Sarah Hilo, seeing law enforcement release Misty Moore and ran for her horse. Law enforcement officers ordered Sarah Hilo to stop during their pursuit. Now the second domino of poor choices falls. Thomas Brighton chooses to chase Miss Hilo. Hilo eventually mounts her horse while attempting to elude law enforcement. And now the third domino falls, is when Mr. Brighton pulls his rifle and fires multiple times at Sarah Hilo during an active law enforcement pursuit. Apologies. I have problems speaking and hearing every now and again. I apologize, Your Honor.
You're fine, sir. I'm not.
Then Thomas Brighton pulls his rifle, fires multiple times at Sarah Hilo during that pursuit. Thomas Brighton shot at Sarah Hilo again and again. Sarah Hilo was not observed with any weapons in her hands to have any sort of weapon at all, or any additional aggressive actions. Sarah was trying to run away. As Sarah was no longer an active threat, Thomas continued to fire at her. As Sarah's horse cried out one last time, Mr. Brighton's bullets hit some marks. And as Mrs. Hilo's horse falls dead, throwing Sarah from the saddle, law enforcement now need to split their attention between Thomas Brighton and the attempted apprehension of Sarah Hilo. Director Ave Marie Smith watched as Miss Hilo fell off the horse while Thomas Brighton continued to aim his rifle at Miss Hilo. Director Smith and Son Fraser then ordered Brighton to stop shooting. And to Mr. Brighton's credit, he stops. He listens. Law enforcement then go to arrest Miss Hilo, and as Director Smith approached Miss Hilo, she was lying motionless on the ground in a bush. Director Smith attempted unsuccessfully to awaken Miss Hilo, and found Sarah to be unresponsive. Director Smith then ordered Sergeant Fraser to contact Mr. Brighton for his previous felonious assault. Sergeant Fraser returned to the Western Ranger's office, and about 50 feet away, Sergeant Fraser saw Thomas Brighton along with Misty Moore standing in front of the Blackwater Hotel under a light post. Sergeant Fraser approached Thomas Brighton, and the sergeant informed Mr. Brighton that he was under arrest. As the sergeant was putting cuffs on Mr. Brighton, Brighton began to argue with the sergeant about the charges that he was facing. Sergeant Fraser lawfully ordered Mr. Brighton towards the Western Ranger's office. Another domino in this chain of events falls as Mr. Brighton refuses to comply with law enforcement officers and obstinately stood motionless under Sergeant Fraser's orders to move to the Western Ranger's office. Sergeant Fraser continued to attempt to order Mr. Brighton to move, to which Mr. Brighton continued to actively resist the arrest. Sergeant Fraser was then forced to subdue Mr. Brighton with rope and carry him to the Western Ranger's office on his shoulder. As Sergeant Fraser was carrying Mr. Brighton, Misty Moore, from nowhere, tackles Sergeant Fraser to the ground from behind. Now all the dominoes start to fall. As Sergeant Fraser is wrestling with Misty Moore, Mr. Brighton wriggles free of his bonds and jumps in to assist Misty Moore in attacking Sergeant Fraser. Sergeant Fraser, while fighting off multiple combatants, continues to throw punches and kicks matching the force of his assailants. Not 30 seconds into this melee is when Thomas Brighton gets behind Sergeant Fraser, and without a word, Mr. Brighton pulls a firearm. Mr. Brighton then points that firearm at Sergeant Fraser, and then Mr. Brighton shoots Sergeant Fraser in the back. It is at this point Sergeant Fraser draws his own firearm and turns his attention to Mr. Brighton. At this point, a flurry of blows and bullets are traded at point-blank range between Mr. Fraser and Mr. Brighton. As the gunshots go off, Misty Moore flees the scene. Fortunately, these gunshots got the attention of multiple law enforcement officers inside the Western Ranger's office. As they exited the building, they witnessed Sergeant Fraser being shot and kicked by Thomas Brighton. Unfortunately, Mr. Brighton's escalation of force gets the better of Sergeant Fraser, and the sergeant is rendered unconscious. Director Smith, witnessing Thomas Brighton attack Sergeant Fraser, returns fire at Thomas Brighton. Mr. Brighton is brought down swiftly. Director Smith orders for Mr. Brighton's arrest and for medical staff to attend to Sergeant Fraser and Mr. Brighton. So I thought I would bow for a moment. I think it's appropriate this time. All the while this unnecessary chaos has been occurring, Miss Hilo, whom Mr. Brighton wantonly and recklessly attacked, had succumbed to her wounds and dies. This whole ordeal could have been easily avoided had Mr. Brighton just reported a crime and did not engage in vigilante justice. He was not requested by law enforcement to assist, nor was he required. This whole scenario is a making of one person, which is Mr. Brighton. And at the end of this case, you will see that Mr. Brighton is guilty of the aforementioned charges. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Crumbetti, you're up, my friend.
Perfect, perfect. Hello, Your Honor. You're great and powerful. All right. Anyways,
Hold up, Mr. Crumbetti.
yes.
I do appreciate the respect, sir, but please, you do not have to bow to me. I am not that important. You only have to do that before your creator, not me.
Anyways, for my opening statement, I am representing my client here, Mr. Thomas Brighton, a wonderful and respectable man in the community of the Highwater Union. He is a business owner. He is a friend. He is a wonderful human being who not only has helped out many people in his life, whether it be donating to the orphans that were victims of a terrible orphanage explosion, or donating his time to helping the church feed the poor and the hungry. He has done a lot in his life to be respectful. He has done a lot in his life to help those that are around him. He has had no record, no issues prior to this event. He's had no inclination to go to a life of crime or to take law into his own hands whatsoever. And my client over there, he's a human being that believes in the respect of law. He has made friends with a lot of lawmen. He has made friends with those who work among us today, lawyers, judges. He is a respectable man of the community. And on April 1st, when he is being accused of these crimes, they are not as you may see.
And now he's
This
into his written stuff.
Sarah lady
Sarah person.
ended up choking out a friend of his, and then during that night attempted to flee on a horse that strikingly had a very, very good resemblance to Mr. Brighton's horse. And during that time, he thought not only did this Sarah woman choke out a good close friend of his, someone who's been a victim her entire life in the streets of Saint Denis, but also to steal his one and only property, that is a horse.
Not his only property.
Something that he uses to travel around every day to spread the joy and to spread the beautiful nature that is Mr. Brighton, whether it be from the church or the Valentine or the Blackwater. He travels around and tries to bring hope and sunshine to those around him. And so, during so, he tried to go after the woman that tried to steal his horse. And now, because of this, he's in his predicament.
Tried to go after her.
But after we
Shot
go through this trial today, I'm sure everyone in this room will agree that Mr. Brighton is not a criminal. He is not a man who disrespects law. He is actually a good man who values the community that he lives in, and therefore shall be seen as innocent
Okay, so he's
in
not...
the end of this case.
Huh?
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all.
That's a fair
Thank you,
angle
Mr.
to take.
Crumbetti. Well said, sir. Excuse me. All right, Mr. Stanley, I'm going to open you up to witnesses, sir.
Yes, the state will be calling. Trying to think who I want to call first. I guess Sergeant Fraser will be the first to be called.
Sergeant, could you place your right hand on the Bible for me and raise your left hand?
So he knows a lot of law enforcement. So I'm just gonna.
Please state your name.
I'm Sean Cahill Fraser.
Do you swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth, and all the truth, so help you God?
I swear to tell the truth, so help me God.
Thank you.
All right, where will you have me?
Over here. It's fine.
Good afternoon, Sergeant Fraser. Could you please state your name for the record?
Sean Cahill Fraser, at your service.
Are you currently employed?
I am currently employed as a sergeant and game warden at the Western Rangers office.
On April 1st, 1900, were you still employed with the Western Rangers office, and were you on duty and in uniform?
I was indeed, but at that time I held the rank of corporal.
Okay. So, please, Mr. Fraser, on April 1st, 1900, what can you tell me about what happened at the Western Rangers office after the release of Sarah Hilo?
So Miss Sarah Hilo, Misty Moore were being released by myself, and immediately as the doors were opened, Miss Hilo ran towards Misty, began to choke her out. At this moment, we were unsure if it was a
We'll say accident.
mere
Okay.
greeting, overly excited to be released from custody.
God, stop it.
However, it became apparent to myself that a physical altercation was occurring
There we
when
go. There, dial
a-
back in. Dial back in.
ordeal of yelling and physical violence occurred.
Is TeamSpeak too loud? Okay. So, as you were witnessing this physical violence, what happens next? I'm trying to get him on.
I see-
Pause to get to the next one.
Miss Misty on the ground, not moving, uncertain to attain her status medically. And I see Miss Hilo mount a horse and flee towards the Blackwater Church.
Okay.
I also see Mr. Brighton chase after that horse with a bolt-action rifle, Craig Jurgensen in hand.
Okay.
And I hear the bullets and see him firing in the direction of Miss Hilo, while at the time Deputy Director Ava Smith ran up pursuing Miss Hilo.
At any time, or excuse me, let me rephrase. What commands, if any, did you give to Mr. Brighton after the shots were being fired?
I told Mr. Brighton to stop firing, that if he continued to fire and pursue, it would not be self-defense anymore, as he was firing unlawfully in town.
No, don't say self-defense. Calls for legal conclusion. No.
And to his credit, he did cease firing. However, he began to say that law enforcement wasn't doing our jobs correctly.
Okay, so so Mr. Brighton's firing multiple shots at a horse with Miss Hilo on top of it. You've ordered him to stop. He stops, and you are in pursuit of Miss Hilo at this point. So what happens there?
So after Mr. Brighton ceases his pursuit, I, on horseback, proceed up to the church to assist Deputy Director Eva Marie Smith in
He said self-defense.
ascertaining
That's killing me.
and, at the time, hopefully detaining Miss Hilo.
Okay. So at any point
Shortly-
did you see? So at what point did Miss Hilo come off of her horse?
After Mr. Brighton fired, I would possibly 4 shots in her direction. The horse stumbled and fell, and she proceeded for a bit from the bottom of the hill towards the church. While I was dealing with Mr. Brighton, I had a chance to look over and observe the director still chasing her. However, the shrubbery then obscured my vision.
So at this point, does the director give you if any orders are given by the director, what would they be?
I was ordered to take Mr. Thomas in for questioning pending potential charges to ascertain if a crime had been committed at this time.
Okay. So what happens next?
I follow my orders, as I should, and I go down to Mr. Brighton and I tell him that I needed him to come back to the station.
Where were you when this occurred?
So this was between the Park Square and the Blackwater Hotel.
Well, I'm going to ask, this may sound like a silly question, but how did you know you were talking to Mr. Brighton? What were the conditions?
Well, the street lights provided ample lighting, so my vision was not obscured in any way or regard
I'm
within
trying
the
to get ahead
town.
of something right here.
And
It may
I
seem
was
like-
able to clearly see Mr. Brighton wearing the same clothing
okay.
as he did when I conversed with him from horseback. He was standing with Seymour and I believe Otis Dawkins at the time
Okay. So
outside our hotel.
all right. So at the corner there, you then approach it seems like Miss Moore, Mr. Brighton, and Mr. Dawkins. So what happens next?
I put Mr. Brighton in cuffs, and he questioned me if he was being arrested. I informed him he was.
Nope, that's fine. Okay.
Mr. Brighton was then asked to cooperatively walk with myself to the station, and he began to argue and even belittle myself.
How many attempts did it take, by just verbal attempts, verbal commands, did it take to get Mr. Brighton to move, if he moved at all?
I requested at least 4 times, and
Should
he
say
still
ordered, but-
refused to move.
So what happens next?
I told him that if he wasn't going to come, I would have to take him in myself. So I removed his cuffs and tied him up and slung him over my shoulder.
Okay. So you have, at this point, he's been placed under arrest. You are now transporting him because he was resisting you going to the jail. And then you're walking to the Western Ranger's office. Explain what happens next, now, please.
So I am focusing on getting to the ranger's office, and as I had Mr. Thomas over my shoulder, my
Right.
vision is obscured from behind. I was not looking over my shoulder during this period when I tackled to the ground by Misty Moore, who I visually identified,
Yeah. Okay.
who has got at the steps of the ranger's office. That's about where we were when I got tackled.
So what were the ramifications of you being tackled? What happened around that? Like, did you end up falling? Like, did something lose from your grip?
Well,
Like, that's leading.
Yes, I fell, and the Mr. Brighton also fell from my custody
Okay.
and was able to untangle himself from ropes while I was yelling at Miss Misty to get off me.
So at this time, did Misty, because she tackled you, but did she continue her assault on you? That's the leading question. You can object to
She
that.
did, yes. She had exclaimed for Thomas and continued to assault myself and hinder my ability as a peace officer to do my duty.
So you're fighting off Miss Moore. You see Mr. Brighton has loose from his ropes. What happens next?
I'm focusing on apprehending Miss Moore as she is a
Actively
threat in
assaulting.
front of me. When I looked behind to see above on the stairs of the Blackwater Ranger's office, Mr. Brighton aiming a pistol at myself.
So Mr. Brighton gets free from his bonds, gets behind you, and starts aiming a pistol at you. At any point, does he utter anything? Does he tell you to stop? Anything
No.
like that?
No, he does not.
Okay, so what happens next?
I am shot by Mr. Brighton. And a physical altercation occurs. I reached for my own
Good.
revolver,
Yep.
my service revolver, and I managed to get off a few shots before I was subdued in the frenzy of violence.
And then at that point, you are unconscious and you don't remember anything further?
No, I was treated by Miss Jessica Moore, and my injuries included an arterial bleed.
Okay. That's all the questions I have, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Whitmore. All right, Mr. Crumbetti, cross-examine, sir.
All right, perfect. Hello, Mr. Frazier.
Mr. Crumbetti.
So, a few things I would like to talk about. All right. The first being the statement from Mr. Winston Payne and a few other things. So, you said that you were ordered, in your statement, you were ordered to bring Mr. Brighton in for questioning by the deputy director, correct?
Yep.
I worded it in for questioning and potential charges.
Right. I'm just saying, because it says that she said for you to bring him in for questioning. And then you told him that he was under arrest. Now, Mr. Payne, in his statement, and I'll get a direct quote here for you. He said, let's see, that he walked over to a man in the blue shirt, questioned him as to why he's under arrest. Mr. Frazier didn't quite articulate very well what the charges were. He then said something about murdering a woman. So is my client under arrest for murdering a woman? Can you articulate or give any explanation what that means?
To this line, he's asked to be commenting on somebody else's words, so it's commenting on hearsay.
I'm commenting on Mr. Payne's statement of what Mr. Frazier said directly.
Then I would say that you would need to talk to Mr. Payne about what he was thinking of what he witnessed.
I just want him to explain.
He's wanting clarification.
Yes. I want clarification what he means by that. Yes.
So he needs to say overruled.
Mr. Payne was not there for the entire altercation. However, when it came to that, I said potential charges. I never said Mr. Brighton was charged with murder or attempted of that.
Very well. Very well. Let's see. And can you tell me what happened from your point of view with Mr. Brighton's stab wounds, where they might have come from, or were you aware that they were there, I should say?
No, I was unaware that Mr. Brighton had stab wounds.
Very well, very well. And you did not accidentally pull a knife or anything out to slash Mr. Brighton?
Knives are not within our standard operating
you just say
procedure.
no, just say no, just say no,
being
just say
used
no.
as a tool. They're not used as a weapon. No, sir.
Very well, very well. Okay. So also in your mind as well, I want to ask, this Miss Sarah Hilo, when Mr. Brighton did put down her horse, the horse that she stole.
It's good. He's pointing at
she was
horse that she
was
stole.
not dead, or she had no physical wounds on her, right? When you retrieved her body.
I am not a medical expert, so I can't comment on that.
I'm asking if you saw like anything
You didn't
on
retrieve
her
her
body
body?
whatsoever. Like, I mean, gunshot wounds are very obvious, bleeding and whatnot and so forth. Did you see anything at all?
He didn't retrieve.
I wasn't that close to her. Deputy director
Very well.
was.
Very well. Now, let's see. So for the final one, I'm just going to ask, when Mr. Frazier was being arrested, were
Means
you
Mr.
able
Brighton.
to articulate to him what it was that he was going to be questioning for, or the circumstances of what he was being brought in, whether it be for questioning or arrest, either one?
His arrest.
Sorry, would you repeat that? I believe you said my name, and I kind of lost me.
I said no.
apologize.
I said. Can you articulate the charges or what you were trying to question him about, whether him being under arrest or questioning what it was that you were trying to investigate or ask him?
The unlawful shooting in town, if it held any relation to the subsequent events that would later be confirmed with the death of Miss Halo.
There you go. That's good.
Okay. And did you have any reasoning to arrest him at that moment? Did you
Yes.
did you decide I was going to arrest him, even though, the deputy director in your statement said to bring him in for questioning? Did you find out any further information that could lead to an arrest charge?
Yes. He.
Rephrase it, please.
I just.
Did you at any point find any reasoning to arrest my client after the deputy director
Yeah.
told you and gave you an order to take him in for questioning.
Yes.
The unlawful firing into him would have been grounds enough.
Yep.
Very well. That's all, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Crumbetti. Is there just a reminder to everybody, make sure you're eating and drinking. It gets a little stuffy in here. I don't need anybody passing out.
Yep.
You can sit down, Sergeant. Thank you.
If I may,
wait.
brief redirect.
Absolutely, but my apologies, Mr. Stanley. Was not trying to get past that.
Yeah, it's fine, Your Honor. Sergeant, during your time as your long time career, your storied career as a sergeant in law enforcement, there are times where you may say that you want to question somebody before effecting an arrest because you may find it to be more beneficial to get cooperation of somebody before they're in handcuffs.
Yes, this is a non-confrontational use of terminology that doesn't cause panic or unneeded distress within the person, as you know, people are innocent until proven guilty.
However, when you do effect an arrest, it is not required that you tell the person who's being arrested immediately what their charges are and why they're going in. There is no requirement for that, is there?
No, sir, not at all.
That's all, Your Honor.
Thank you. Any redirect from you, Mr. Crumbetti?
No, sir, not for me.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, Mr. Sergeant, take your seat.
Thank you, sir.
All right, next witness, Mr. Stanley.
Director Ave Marie Smith. Sorry, for the record, Ava, not Ave. I keep on saying Ave, like the song.
If you want to stand up front so I can swear you in, please. Thank you. Yep, or behind me. Perfect. All right, place your right hand on the Bible and raise your left hand, please. State your name.
Ava Marie Smith.
Do you swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth, and all the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You may be seated.
I'm just gonna stand here, I think.
Wonderful. Yeah. Director Smith, could you please state your name for the record?
Ava Marie Smith.
Are you currently employed?
Yes, sir. I am the director of the Ranger's office.
On April 1st, 1900, were you on duty and in uniform?
Yes, sir.
Please, on April 1st, 1900, could you please tell me what happened in the Western Ranger's office shortly after the release of Sarah Hilo?
Yeah, I was not dealing with Sarah Hilo myself. There was some other rangers that was dealing with her. I was questioning someone else up in the interrogation room about the same incident. Not that this incident the court is about, but yeah. So when I was escorting him out of the ranger's office, the doors at the ranger's office was open. So I was up in the stair and I look out and I see Sarah Hilo run out, and she jumps on top of Misty and she chokes her out, which, you know, I react to because I can see it. So I'm like, is she choking her out? And I run after to try to stop it. By the time I got there, it was, you know, already too late. And that's when Sarah Hilo had started taking off, and I followed her on pursuit after Thomas as well.
Okay. So at this point, it's you and Mr. Brighton. So Miss Moore has been attacked and she is down, but she's in front of the Ranger's office, safe. Fucking hate this thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, I apologize. That's on me. I was getting salty. So she was safe in front of, downed, injured in front of the Ranger's office. You are pursuing Miss Hilo along with Mr. Brighton.
Yeah, I was a little bit behind Mr. Brighton, yes.
Okay. So what happens next?
He then starts firing at our horse. I tell him to stop shooting.
Shouldn't say at her horse. Should just say
yeah,
at her.
I identify myself as a ranger's office, and I tell him to stop shooting. He then listens. He stops firing. And then I see she falls off the horse, and she continues to run into the bushes next to the church.
Is there any other law enforcement officers with you during this time?
I believe Sean was behind me or something. Yeah. I was pretty far ahead with Thomas.
Okay. So you see Miss Hilo fall into the bushes after she gets away from or falls off her horse.
No. She falls on the ground,
Mhm.
and then she runs into the bushes.
Oh, okay. So she is adrenaline packed going into the bushes. As she gets to the
Yeah.
bushes, you lose sight of her.
Yes, I thought she was hiding in the bushes.
Okay.
But yeah.
So while you're looking for her, what happens next?
I then, as I'm looking through the bushes, and I find her lifeless in the bushes, and we then decide to bring her. Then that's Sean. He rides up to me. I then tell him that we're gonna bring Thomas in for questioning. And it really depends on what happened to Sarah and all that. So I needed a doctor to talk to a doctor really quickly. So I then bring her over to the corner where I see Thomas helping Misty back on her feet, probably giving her a tonic or something. That's when I tell Sean again that we need to bring him in for questioning. Sean then walks over to him. That's when they start having a little bit of a back and forth, where Thomas was upset that his friend had been hurt, and that we were apparently not in our jobs, and stating a lot of facts like that. When we try to explain to him that he is not a law officer, and he cannot take it into his own hands initially. That's when the doctors came in, and I went over to. They rode into town. I then ran up to them, and I stayed behind with the doctors to try to see what the cause of death and all that was with Sarah Hilo. If that makes sense, yeah.
Yes. Were you ever supplied a cause of death?
They said that they couldn't give me one right then and there, as that had not been an autopsy report done, but she did not have any visible wounds or gunshot wounds or anything like that. Because I needed to make sure that she didn't die from a bullet wound.
Yes, and rightly so. So it seems like Mr. Brighton, none of his bullets hit their mark.
Yes.
That should be objected to.
And that's when I was talking to them, trying to figure out all these things. That's when I heard a lot of gunshots coming from the ranger's office. And I told the doctors that I just had to run. When I come around the corner, I see the warden, Sean, and Thomas having a bit of a scuffle. It's kind of all happening real quick. I then see Sean drops to the ground. I see Thomas kick Sean while he's on the ground, at least one time. The warden is still trying to get a control over the situation as well. I then fire my gun at Thomas, and he runs to the. You know how the ranger's office has like the main door, and then we have the side door that goes to the
the garage?
The closet. No, not the garage. It's like a closet room. I don't know what it's called.
Sure.
He runs to that side. He then starts firing back at us. That's when myself and Thomas are shooting at each other. And then Johnny Frazier comes out of the ranger's office and he managed to shoot Mr. Thomas. Yes, and that's when we get the doctors to give everyone medical and such.
Okay. I believe that's all the questions I have, Your Honor.
All right. Before we get to cross-examine, what is the actual charge the state is trying to stick on him?
We went with a reduced charge instead of going with manslaughter, which would have been a hut. We're going with attempted just so he could be out without going through a bond hearing. We were just going to go with a reduced charge for that fact alone. We do not believe that Mr. Brighton is a clear and present threat to the community. I believe this is a scenario that got out of hand.
Okay. Continue on, Mr. Crumbetti, with your cross-examination, sir.
Perfect. Thank you. You're bright and powerful. Ava, good to see you. Good to see you.
Crumbetti, good to see you.
Yes. All right. So, I got a few questions, but first, I would like to have you just, paint the scene to me, because I wasn't there, so I want to make sure that, I have a good description of what it looked like from everything there. So you were at the scene with Mr. Fraser the entire time, correct?
I was at the not
You
the
when
entire time, but-
before everything went crazy. Let me rephrase. You were with him when you were talking with when they were talking to Misty and to Mr. Brighton before any bullets were exchanged or chokeouts, correct?
Briefly, very briefly,
Okay.
because I said I needed to go to the doctors as they rode into town.
Very
and I
well.
was trying to.
Can you tell me, was it daylight or was it nighttime?
There we go. Here he is.
I think something a little bit. I think it was like it was a little bit dark, but you could clearly see we have a lot of street lighting in
Right.
Blackwater.
I'm just saying that if I'm just asking if it's if it was dark and whatnot and so forth. All right. Were you able to notice a man that was wearing all black and a mask at any point when you were there?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was a man wearing an outfit that stood out there. The same man that pretty sure fetched you to be Thomas' lawyer at the beginning, I believe.
Right. Well, the man that fetched me, yeah, I think
Otis,
that was
right?
Yeah, that was Otis. Yeah, I had to remember his name for a moment. All right, very well. So he was out there. Was he involved in the scene at any point from what you saw? Like, was he there speaking, or was he just,
Not that I
around?
saw or noticed.
All right, perfect.
As
All
I
right,
said, I
so-
wasn't there for a long time because I had to go and catch up with the doctors.
Of course. All right. So, Mr. Brighton, let me. You tell me if I'm wrong here. So, Mr. Brighton was having a conversation with Mr. Fraser, from what you saw, and
Yeah.
Misty Moore was also there with him. Was he?
Yes.
Did you notice if there was any injury on Mr. Brighton beforehand, whether it be from on his arms? Was he bleeding at all or anything
No.
like that?
I didn't
Perfect.
see anything.
Okay. And walk me through what happened through your eyes when you walked away, when you went to deal with something else. What was it that you came back to?
Well, I came back to whenever I ran around the corner and they were having a fight, and I saw Sean drop to the ground, passed out. When I saw Thomas kick or stomp, is probably the right word, on Sean, and the warden trying to get a control over the situation, and they were just fighting each other. Yeah.
Right. Did the warden inform you of what was happening at that point, or did he not say anything to you?
I was too far away to being able to hear anything that was going on.
Okay.
The only thing that I heard was gunshots.
All right. That's fine. And during that time when you ran over and you saw Mr. Brighton on top, did you at any point scream to him that you were the law office or anything, or did you just come over seeing what was going on? Did you make yourself known, is what I'm asking?
Well, I did make myself known at the start, and I just this is not even 5 minutes after we were, talking to him, seeing very much well aware that I was Ava Marie Smith from the ranger's office.
Right, but you said you ran away, so I was just making sure, if it was very clear that you were
I
able
would
to
believe
do
that
it.
it's very clear that I was.
This is ex parte,
a ranger.
but it's like,
Yes, as I
like,
did
what's going on?
identify myself
Okay.
at the start.
And now let's go to Miss Hilo. So you were the one to deal
Yes.
with her when she went to the bushes, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Said there was no physical injury on her, whether it be bullet wounds, stab impacts, whatnot, and so forth, correct?
As due to the situation, she seemed really lifeless. So I didn't do a thorough check inside the bushes. I waited for the doctors to really do that. As from anyone that rides a horse and falls off the horse, I would assume that it's probably bruising on you, you know. But
Right.
I didn't see any.
Did you try to examine her for like any wounds that may need to be tourniqueted or anything like that?
I checked if she was responsive. Very much got that she had passed.
Right.
And
So
then I brought her to the
you didn't
doctors.
really look to see what her wounds were?
Well,
Ooh.
I looked
That's good.
over a little bit, but I didn't do a thorough
Right.
check. No.
Okay. Normally when a victim falls off a horse, usually I would say either bruising, you're correct, or in some states, there's a broken limb or a broken neck. Were you able to identify him, anything like that?
It's not
Objection.
always
She
a
is not
broken
an
limb.
expert in the medical field. Would not be able to comment on that.
But she is medically certified to proceed to help with stabilizing people. And when limbs are broken or if there's a broken bone, it is very obvious, as I'm sure you got trained for that to spot that type of thing.
Oh,
Hold on. There was an objection, Marshall. Is that with the training that the lawmen go through? Is that something that seems like basic SOP, or is that something above their pay?
this is a good one. He's doing
We are
good.
trained to identify any wounds, gunshot wounds, stab wounds, bruising. We are also trained to identify when there is a bone out of place, whether it's a full break or not. However, we cannot do anything about that fact until the doctor is there.
Okay.
But we are trained to identify them.
Okay.
Overruled. Continued, Mr. Crumbetti.
Yep, that was a good
Thank
one. That was good.
So back on my original point, you did not see any wounds of that nature?
As as a horse girl myself, there's a lot of internal wounds that can come off falling off a horse there, Mr.
Of
Crumbetti.
Of course.
This is
Of
where he
course it
should
is.
turn
So
a red
I
light,
wouldn't
but you're not
just
an expert
assume
on
that you
this.
can either have a broken arm or a broken neck. There is a lot more inside the body that can happen while falling off a horse. But no, I didn't see any wounds on her. No.
Okay, all right.
On
That's
the
all I'm
outside,
asking
of
because I just wanted, yes, of course. I just wanted to make sure that there's any internal injury you obviously wouldn't know until a doctor was able to look over her. But all right, so my client was told that he is getting attempted murder for shooting at her. Do you believe in the sense of being a lawman that with no physical wounds seen from what you know, were you able to get any indication from the doctors after that? Did you try to get a medical report or an autopsy or anything of that nature?
Yeah, I tried to get an autopsy report. I also tried to get an answer then and there for what the reasoning for death would have been. As they said that I did need to wait for an autopsy report, but they also did not find any wounds on Mr. Sarah Hello.
Right. Okay. So were you able to get anything from the doctors since then? Like, has there been any follow-up?
I believe
a
that
good
was
question.
requested, yes.
Okay, but it has not been given to you yet.
Not to me, because I wasn't the one requesting it.
Who was it that was requesting?
I don't know.
Me.
Okay. Well,
This is a good point. I don't have medical records.
yeah,
in
I would
Discovery.
say that, if I were you, I would be, looking to get a autopsy report before charging a man with attempted murder, because anything could happen, whether it happened, she could have had a heart attack, she could have, done anything could happen. She could have had a pre-existing condition. We don't know.
Well, it's fair.
We don't know, especially if there's no autopsy report to
It's
prove
100% fair. It's 100% fair.
the cause of death. Anyways, so after you brought Miss Hilo in,
That's
and you
100%
saw
fair.
Mr. Brighton unconscious
I-
after that happened, did anything else happen during that moment that you could think of? Like, was he cooperative after he was stabilized and whatnot?
Yeah, he was cooperating with me, yeah.
Okay. Did he seem like he was in any type of situation or state where he was very standoffish, or was he showing like any kind of anger, or was he?
This might actually bite him
How would
in
you
the
describe
ass.
him?
As cooperative.
As cooperative. Okay,
Mm.
perfect. Perfect. Okay. And for the last question, how well do you know my client, Mr. Brighton? Like, do you? What
I
is
don't know
your?
him, I
You
don't
don't know
know
him
at
very
all.
much.
No, not really.
Okay. Okay. Very well. Anyways, Your Honor, that's all for now. Thank you.
Do I want to redirect here?
Redirection from the state.
Actually, Your Honor, I do. Well, yes, I do have one.
Yes, sir.
Director Smith, with your
Yeah.
very deep law enforcement background,
Mhm.
there are times at which you've found people who have died due to unnatural causes, but have no physical wounds on them. Have you seen that in your experience?
Yeah.
And such things like poison, trauma from falling from a horse can cause
Yeah.
such things.
Yeah.
Okay.
It could also happen like late response. The body reacts different ways and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, there's an adrenaline response where everything seems to be fine, and then all of a sudden, just everything stops.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to ask a hypothetical question, and if the court would allow me a little leeway on this to get to Mr. Crumbetti's point about manslaughter. So, Director, let's say, for example, there's somebody on a horse, and they're riding along, and then a group of individuals starts firing their weapons towards that person on a horse, maybe with no intent to injuring, they're just firing in that direction. That horse gets loose, the rider gets bucked, and they end up dying. In your professional opinion as a law enforcement officer, do you believe manslaughter, so that's basically death caused by reckless behavior, would be an appropriate charge to push on those people? Say yes. Just say yes. Say yes.
Not, no.
Okay. That's all, Your Honor. Fuck! That just fucked me. So we're gonna lose that.
Have a seat. Your next witness for the state.
The state has no further witnesses. We may reserve the right to recall some witnesses for rebuttal later.
Understood. All right, your witnesses, Mr. Crumbetti.
Yes, I would like to call to the stand Nurse Pearl Hawthorne, as she is a nurse that did, of the day my client was arrested, she did a look at his injuries after he was taken care of.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
Please place your right hand on the Bible and raise your left hand. Could you state your
Judge
name?
is like fucking.
It's actually Pearl Thorne. So close, Mr. Crumbetti.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. It's very close to my ex-wife's last name, so yeah.
I see.
All right. Do you swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth, and all the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hello, Miss Thorne. Yes, sorry. I every time I hear the last name Hawthorne, I just oh boy. All right. Anyways, I'd like you to just answer a couple questions for me that are very easy. You did a look over of Mr. Brighton in detail, correct?
Correct.
Yes, and obviously he was
So funny.
attacked and shot by the law during their interaction with each other. But my client claims that a lawman, Mr. Fraser and Hacks, slashed him with a knife. Now, earlier you would remember that I asked the question if Mr. Brighton had any wounds on him beforehand, if anyone was able to see. Like, obviously there were very, very deep cuts. Can you
Your Honor,
go...
can we get a question here? We're starting to testify.
I'm asking a question. I'm asking a question.
Let's get to it, Mr. Crumbetti.
Okay. I would like you to explain to me the wounds that you found on Mr. Brighton that were ones that you looked over personally.
He had a bunch of cuts to his forearm. In my opinion, I would say they're defensive wounds since they were outwards, and he had some stitched up gunshot wounds.
Okay. Can you tell the court exactly what your thesis is about the stab wounds, what they were made from?
Well, the wounds were clean, so I would say probably a blade of some sort.
A blade. Okay. Perfect. Was there anything else in the medical report that you put in of significance towards Mr. Brighton's injuries?
No.
I'll have to object. Facts, not evidence. I do not have a medical report in my discovery, nor have I been furnished with one.
That would have to stand because I was actually surprised there is not one autopsy in this whole discovery file. Not one medical document at all, Mr. Crumbetti. I mean, do you have one? I mean,
I have something. I just have Miss Nurse here, the nurse here. I believe she documented it, but I'm just using her as a witness.
but
Yes.
but the reasoning is, Mr. Crumbetti, with the documentation not being into the discovery, it would technically lean.
That's me
on
being tricky. I
speculation
didn't put it in
and
there.
Very, very well. I'll
Not
just
saying
have
she's
her.
not qualified. It's just
Yes, I'll just have her then discuss it from her fact directly.
Yeah. The state would be fine with her observations. Just don't reference
Very
a report.
okay.
Okay, perfect. So yes, so the damage done to
Normally, I
Mr.
would just
Brighton
dismiss her
were
'cause
done
she's-
by a blade of some sorts, as they were clean. That is what you said, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
She can
perfect.
testify to the fact of that.
Did you
I'll be fine
notice
with that.
any other injuries on Mr. Brighton at the time that were not gunshot wounds or stab wounds?
None.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I have.
Cross-examine.
Doctor, if you don't mind me asking, when did you see Mr. Brighton for his examination?
April 2nd.
Okay, so this is the day after the event, so about 24 hours?
Probably less than 24 hours.
Okay. So he had already been treated based off of what your testimony was. They were stitched bullet wounds.
Yes.
Okay. Again, I'm baffled by why the defense is bringing up knife wounds. At what point did, in your opinion, would he have sustained such injuries?
Probably the day before. They were a pinkish color, fresh.
So 24 hours, 36, 12 hours?
Probably 24 hours. They haven't fully scabbed over.
Okay. What hour range would you give? Because obviously it wasn't directly 24 hours. I can't imagine you have a way of actually saying that.
Probably say maybe 16, 17 hours.
Okay, around there. So under 24 hours is around that point. And you said the wounds were still open.
No, they were starting to heal, but they haven't fully scabbed over.
I apologize. I mean, so there were no need for stitching on these wounds.
No.
Okay. So about how deep were they?
Maybe 2 inches.
Okay. I apologize, Doctor.
Oh.
Sorry, it's me.
Apologies. I did ending. There was one wound that was actually stitched. Apologies on the forearm.
So 1. But the rest were about, you said 2 inches deep?
Yeah, maybe an inch. Wasn't deep enough to be stitched.
Well, I mean, I am, again, no medical professional, but a 2-inch to inch wound deep, that seems to me a pretty substantial depth that would need to be sutured if they were seen by a medical professional. Would it not?
Depends on if they healed properly, if they healed fast enough. Coming to the scene, they weren't that deep. They were starting to heal, but not scabbed over.
And about what's the number of wounds that you saw that kind of matching this?
5 or 6.
Okay. And was this on both arms?
Yes.
Front of the forearm, so like the interior or anterior part. So that would be either the inside of the forearm or the outside of the forearm.
Yes, I would say imagine putting your hands up and there's just cuts, on the outside, partially inside.
Okay. Okay. And you also, did you end up examining anybody on the day that this occurred? This is all afterwards, correct?
Correct. I was called to the station by the Western Ranger's office saying that there was a inmate or a prisoner that needed checking. I was called and arrived to see Mr. Brighton in a cell, and I examined him.
Okay. Yeah, that is all, Your Honor.
All right. Doctor, thank you for your time, ma'am. Feel free to have a seat.
Thank you. Get me out of this hell.
All right, Mr. Crumbetti, your next witness.
All right, perfect. Thank you. You're great and powerful. The defense, I can't believe we're doing this, but the defense calls Misty Moore to the stand.
Oh, this will be good.
Yay!
God help me. Misty.
Now, Misty,
I'm ready.
Misty,
Okay.
when you walked in here, hold on before she swears in. Misty, when you
Yes?
walked in here, you said you stayed out of trouble. And they sounded
did,
like you
I
staying
did.
out of trouble, Miss Misty.
I'm doing it now. Now I'm staying out of trouble. After this point, right now.
Swear it.
God
I
help
do.
us. Okay.
I do.
State your name,
I
Misty.
do.
This
Misty
can go
Moore.
either way right now.
Okay. Do you swear to
Please,
tell the
whatever
truth, all the
Yep.
truth, and nothing but
Yep.
the truth, so help you
Yep.
God?
Yep.
Okay. You may be seated or standed.
Hello.
Oh, yeah. Hello.
This is good.
Okay. Miss Moore, can you please describe to me the events that happened on the first with Mr. Brighton and Mr. Fraser as you were there? And can you do it, please, without using revolting language?
I will definitely try my best.
Okay.
So I was coming out of prison in Blackwater here. I remember walking outside the doors and saying freedom, and then running to Thomas because I saw my friend Thomas, and then I felt a pair of small little hands around my neck, and I got pushed to the ground and strangled, and then everything went black. It was very, very scary, very traumatic. The last thing I remember seeing before everything went black was the officers, still standing on the steps, just watching me get strangled. It was, a very interesting sight. And after I got tended to by a doctor, woke up and everything, I remember talking to Thomas on the street after, everything happened. And some officer came up and I guess it was Fraser over there, whatever. And he was like, "You're under arrest." And Thomas was like, "For what?" And Fraser couldn't tell him. It went on for a while like that. He just couldn't tell him. And then he said murder. And that was kind of crazy. Thomas walked up there with him, and did I do a bad thing in tackling the officer that was carrying him there? Yes, that was very bad of me. But Thomas didn't tell me to do that. That was my own volition. The next thing I know, the officer pulled out a knife, started just stabbing people. Even the warden was fucking punching him.
Language, Misty.
Sorry, freaking punching him. And Thomas just defended himself against this officer. It was kind of crazy. I ran out of there. It was real scary.
Okay, and that's it.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Another question. As you mentioned, an officer stabbing Mr. Brighton. Do you know which officer it was? Can you give a description or a name or anything?
He was wearing a funny hat. He kind of looked like a game warden at the time. Yep.
Okay, he was wearing a funny hat and he looked like a game warden. Did
A
you know
little
the
bit.
officer's name?
No.
Okay, perfect. All right, very well. And when Mr. Brighton was tied up, there was as earlier Miss Smith said that she corroborated that there was a man in a mask. Did you see that man in the mask at any point during that altercation?
Oh yeah. Yeah, he was there. He was hanging out in front of the law office.
He was just hanging out in front of the law office.
Yeah.
Did he contribute to any issues that partaked, or was he just a bystander?
I can't really remember, honestly. It was so long ago.
Very well. Thank you, Miss Moore. I'll leave it to the state now if they would like to cross-examine.
Good afternoon, Miss Moore.
Howdy.
Miss Moore, so according to your testimony, you did tackle the sergeant. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
The state really has no further questions. But Rangers, as we discussed earlier, after she's done questioning, please take action.
That's your only question? Pussy. That's some pussy shit. Sorry, excuse me.
Misty.
Oh,
Sorry,
my
sorry.
Lord. Go back to your seat, Miss.
Just as a former lawyer, I just think he could ask better questions.
Well, if I had a
Misty,
more
sit
reliable
down.
witness.
Bitch.
If you may, Your Honor, for a moment, could I have the Rangers take care of their duty currently in service of warrant?
Yeah, that's fine.
No.
Misty.
Misty, run!
Misty, don't you run, Misty.
Run!
You came
Run!
as a witness when you had a warrant? Are you
I didn't know.
I thought you already served your warrant.
crazy?
Oh, she's punching.
Oh, come on. Are you
Misty!
Oh, never
punching
again.
Malcolm.
It's over. It's over. Do you watch it? Where do you want to go for pizza after this?
I mean, yours.
She's
She's
I mean,
punching
you can
him.
buy.
Get him.
Is this? Are we still doing the trial?
Yes, we're still doing the trial.
Oh, okay.
I think it would have been pertinent to wait after the trial to fulfill the warrant.
I think
That
it was
would
probably
to be honest,
been better.
considering
Let me go
Misty's
back.
track
Excuse
record.
me, Your Honor.
I mean,
Lock that
Oh.
door.
It sounds like she's beating up every marshal in the
my
fucking house. I mean,
Can
in
y'all
the
just
day,
grab?
in the,
Thank you.
Get every marshal in the house as of right now.
very reliable witness.
Not every marshal.
I think I'm going to stay here.
Listen, it was a 50-50, and sometimes, you don't always get what you want.
Make sure they check if you served it. You served one in Valentine before.
All right.
I don't know.
Should I call up my next witness, even though I hear marshals getting beat down out there?
Yes.
I'm still here, Mr. Combetti. Don't worry.
Okay, perfect. Okay. All right. I bring Mr. Colbeck up to the stand.
Woo, Mr. President!
Jane.
Order. How you doing, Mr. Mayor?
Not too bad. How are you?
Doing well.
Mayor, how are you?
Fantastic.
Good man. If you could place your right hand on the Bible and say your name for the court, please. Left.
Mayor Harold Colbeck.
You can raise your left hand and repeat. And do you swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth, and all the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Thank you, Mayor. Let me squeeze on through. I'm sorry. It's okay. All right, Your Honor, we're ready.
Hello, Mr.
Excuse-
Colbeck.
Before
How are you
you
doing?
start bannering everything under control downstairs.
Yes, sir. Mr. Moore is being taken to the Ranger's office as we speak.
Okay.
I'm guessing she's going to need my services in about 10 minutes. All right, that's fine.
All right, thank you, Mr. Combetti.
Very well. Hello, Mr. Colbeck. How are you doing? You're great and powerful, Mayor. How are you doing?
Recovering after yesterday, but I'm still alive.
Yes. I heard many things. So just a few questions. So about Mr. Brighton, I just want to know, in your own words, the kind of character Mr. Brighton is.
I have to object to this line of questioning. If he is not a material fact witness to the events that occurred, I imagine we're going to be talking about character, which can be brought up in sentencing. If we
I'm just trying to paint I'm just trying to show that the kind of, that my client does not do something like this. I'm just trying to show that Mr. Colbeck, because he knows my client very well, he would know that this man would not be doing this type of action.
However, he was not materially there unless you have evidence otherwise. So I would say he is irrelevant to the trial at hand.
What do you say, Your Honor? Do you want to hear it or no?
He can be brought on as a character witness before sentencing. That's fine. But as far as like factorial, as the state's saying, with the current docket of discovery, it's not in there.
Yes, he's only a character witness. That's it.
Yeah, we can do that after I go to my chambers and come back.
Okay, all right. So should we have him step down?
Yeah, unless state, honestly, sir. All right. So are Mr. Crumbetti? Are you done with all of like your actual witnesses for?
I just have Mr. Brighton left.
And it's his question.
He's the factual. Yes, he's factual.
All right. So, Mr. Mayor, if you don't mind, you have a seat again.
Of course.
And then let's have Mr. Brighton come up and you start with get him swore in, and then we can go that way.
Okay, Mr. Brighton, come on up here.
All right.
Thank you for your patience, Mr.
Hello,
Woodward.
Thomas. How are you?
Hello. Oh, been better. Recovering after yesterday, as Harold said. Sorry for my state of dress, Your Honor.
Oh my
Normally I'd
God.
be a bit better, but bandages and whatnot.
Thomas, if you could put your right hand on the Bible, and I know you got a cane, so
Your Honor, do you mind if I lean my cane on your desk?
Oh my
Absolutely.
God. The theatrics that are going on here.
Okay.
It's good.
Place your right hand on the Bible for me and raise your left hand and state your name for the court, please.
My name is Thomas Brighton.
Do you swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth, and all the truth, so help you God?
I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Thank you, Mr. Brighton.
Pardon me.
You're fine.
Okay, Mr. Brighton.
I think Rebetti's in good shape.
Can you do me a favor and can you tell us the events that transpired on April the 1st from your point of view, sir?
Excellent.
Yes, sir. I had made my way to Blackwater from St. Denis, as the town seemed to be deserted. When I was in Blackwater, there was a gentleman with a mask on, wearing all black, that had walked up to me while I was at the little structure in between the bank and the Blackwater office. I'm forgetting the word for it. But we spoke briefly, and while we were speaking, Misty walked up to us. I then learned shortly after, while I was speaking with her, that she had just gotten out of the sheriff's office. And while we were speaking, I'm still speaking with the man in the mask, a woman ran up and tackled Misty. This came to as a shock to me, of course, and she started to choke her out. While she was choking her out, while she was choking her out, I tried to get her off of her. I kicked her once, but then she finished choking her out and then started to run off. At this time, I did not see any rangers. They said that we were in front of the sheriff's office. We were not. We were in between there and the bank. We were not on the steps like they claimed. She then started to run off, where I then pursued because I didn't want somebody that just choked out my friend to escape justice. I pursued, pulled out my rifle, and fired at the horse that she had taken. I did not aim for her. at all. I had no interest in seeing her dead. I just wanted to see justice taken for my friend who had just been brutally assaulted. I then started to pursue. That is when Director Ava had caught up with me and told me to stop, that I was not a law official, that I shouldn't be doing this, which I then complied with. I walked back into town, and then I found Misty, who was still unconscious. There was no doctors around, at least not at that moment. I did happen to have a tonic on me, thankfully, that I administered to her after wrapping some clean bandages that I had on me. Then Ava and the gentleman, Mr. Frazier, came up after I was talking with Misty and that masked gentleman that I mentioned from earlier. And after Ava had left, Mr. Frazier told me that I was under arrest. I do know that Ava, she at the very least told me later that I was just supposed to be taken in for questioning. But that is not what Mr. Frazier communicated to me after she left.
It doesn't matter.
He
Irrelevant.
just said, "You're under arrest, sir," and this, of course, came as a shock to me. I understood that I had done wrong in the sense of chasing after her. Initially, like I said, I didn't know that there was law in town. But yeah, then he,
This is a big deal right here.
said I was under arrest. I said, okay, what am I being arrested for? I tried to have a conversation because I was quite confused. He seemed confused. He stumbled over his words a bit. At one point, he asked me, "What way do you want it?" And I said, I'd like the letter of the law that I broke. And then he didn't say anything. And then he hogtied me. The entire time I was right next to him, I was waiting for him to lead me to the law office. He did not issue any verbal commands of walk with me to the law office, nothing like that. He just said, "You're under arrest." He did cuff me. I was stood there in cuffs for multiple minutes. Not really anything that I could do, so I was just stood by his side. Then eventually, like I said, after he seemed fed up with me asking what I was arrested for, he just hogtied me. He then walked me over to the office, wherein Misty and
He's giving a good
I guess
story.
the gentleman in black ran up, and I believe, like they said, Misty pushed him over. I did not break out of my own ropes. The man in black cut me out, and then I was just trying to back up. I knew that resisting in any way further would not help the situation. I believe that the man in black got into a fist fight with the warden, potentially. I wasn't really paying attention to that as Mr. Frazier turned to me and started punching me. Like I said, I started to back up. I have been a longtime friend with the owner of the fight club in Saint Denis, Luther, so I know how to fight defensively. I was just trying to block his strikes. I got a few bruises on my arms from it. I didn't expect him to punch me, so he did get one off on my jaw at first. And then he pulled out a knife, which surprised me quite a bit. I said, "What are you doing? I'm not resisting." And then he slashed me on the arms a couple of times. I believe Dr. Calloway saw to me after. That was the doctor that had helped me, Dr. Calloway. But at that point, I thought this man might be crazy. I'm not sure. I was not fighting back. I didn't hit him at all up until that point. I said, I was a little bit upset, of course, and emotional when he had suddenly claimed that I was under arrest for murder. And then that is when I thought, well, this man is not stopping. He seems to be in some sort of crazed state. So I drew my gun because I feared for my life, and I shot him. I didn't want to do it, of course. I wanted nothing more than to get everything cleared up and get along with my day. But at that point, I felt like my life was on the line. So I shot him. After a brief scuffle back and forth, I had then planned to put my gun away and put my hands up. I didn't fire at the warden, who was right next to him. Then I was taking fire at a distance. It was dark, so I couldn't quite tell who it was exactly, but then I took out my rifle again, and I had turned around a corner and started returning fire. Like I said, I didn't hear anybody shout anything. I just, after being stabbed and having to shoot Mr. Frazier, was then fired upon again. And then that is when I lost consciousness.
Yeah, sounds like you were through an ordeal. During that time, the man in the black mask has been mentioned numerous times today. Were you able to see him at all during that altercation and what he was doing?
Yes, like I said,
He's able to pay
from what I
attention?
remember, he was engaged with the warden in some way. I never once got the man's name, and never once did I see him without his mask on. But he seemed occupied with the warden himself. I don't recall what Missy was doing at the moment. She might have also been engaged with the warden. I don't really know. I was too focused on trying to just back away and defend myself from Mr. Frazier.
Are you okay, Mr. Brighton?
Yes, I'm sorry. Did you?
I thought it was my ears.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
wait. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You got a little quiet, my friend. You might want to go back.
So
a
sorry.
Bit.
Yes, the man in the black mask. He was
No, this is a good witness.
attacking. I thought that he was engaged with the warden. I didn't quite really see. I was too preoccupied with defending myself from Mr. Frazier. I know that at the very least, the warden himself was not involved in the altercation directly in any fistfight between me and Mr. Frazier. The man in the black mask didn't attack Mr. Frazier. Like I said, I think he was engaged with the warden. I was a bit too preoccupied with trying not to be stabbed.
Very well. And Mr. Brighton, have you had any run-ins with the law prior to this incident?
No, sir.
That's fair.
Have never once been arrested, charged with anything, not even a speeding ticket.
Speeding?
No, sir. I also am not familiar with the Blackwater Rangers office at all. I usually just spend my time in Saint Denis. It's a city that I love. I defended it just yesterday. I don't really get out to Blackwater at all.
God.
I understand. And for the last question, you were hogtied, correct, by Mr. Frazier?
Yes.
Yes, sir. After he was just kind of standing and I guess waiting for me to walk myself to the office. I'm not sure. He just kind of said, "Well, that's it," and then hogtied me.
Okay. And when you were hogtied, due to not really, it seems to be the issue that not many people know what would happen. Can you explain to us how it is that you got out of the ropes of the hogtie?
Yes, sir. While he was carrying me over, I had said, "Well, this is fine. I'll just fight this in court."
Yep.
That was my intent, as we are here today. After I fell off of his shoulder, I'm not sure if you can tell beneath the coat, but I'm no circus strongman. I'm not strong enough to.
Fuck! I can't hear this. I need this.
From what I recall, I believe cut me out of said ropes.
And what did you do when you were out of ropes?
I tried to back up as best as I could, and just kind of remove myself from the situation. I knew that punching or fighting in any way, resisting, would not help my case. As I said, I planned to fight it in court, but Mr. Frazier engaged me. He approached me.
Very well. That's all for me. If the state would like to do a cross, now's your chance.
I appreciate that opportunity, Mr. Grimbetti.
Hey, it's a wonderful opportunity, Mr. Stanley. It's
It's
once
It
in
is a great
lifetime
one.
from what I
Yeah.
hear.
I love this country.
Yeah, it's a great country. But this will not be as heated as an exchange as my last court appearance. Mr. Brighton, it is good to see you. I am glad to see that you're recovering from your injuries.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
So on that day, you had mentioned that you saw somebody attack your friend, Miss Moore, and then
Yes.
you then went after them, correct?
Yes, as there was no law that I could presently see, I did not want this individual to escape justice.
Okay, so you being, and again, you've said new to the town. I'm going to give you the biggest leeway that I can possibly give you. You're new to the town, you don't know where the law offices are, you just see somebody being assaulted, so you take it upon yourself as a concerned citizen to bring that person to justice. Is that a fair statement?
No, it wasn't to per se. I was trying to defend my friend and help her out. Like I said,
Okay.
She had been tackled literally about as close as I am to my friend here, and yeah.
Okay, so to defend your friend, that's what you that is that a fair assessment then?
Yes, and then as I
Okay,
said,
okay.
she then took off on a horse that
Okay,
was
so
right next to us.
in your effort to defend your friend who was on the ground, you then choose to leave your friend on the ground and then chase after that person and then shoot at them. Or their horse. Again, with your testimony, you would say you're shooting at her horse.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
I shot.
That's true. All right.
Yes, I did shoot at her horse.
Okay, but so instead of staying in with your friend, you pursued this other person. I just want to be clear on that. Your idea of defense of your friend is to chase after the person who accosted her.
The gentleman in the black mask was stood by her side, and although I don't really make many friends out of people in masks, he seemed nice enough from the short conversation that I had, and he seemed like he was able to take care of her. I have no medical expertise, so there was not much that I would be able to do to really help her.
Yeah, that brings us to the gentleman in the black mask. Like, this is the most fascinating thing. He seems to be everywhere you need him to be, doesn't he, Mr. Brighton?
Pardon?
Well, he was there to assist your friend when you were chasing after the person who accosted her, correct?
He certainly didn't follow me, no.
No. So he was there when you needed him to take care of Miss Moore. Then
presumably.
Well, that's what you just said. You said that he was taking care of her. That's why you felt comfortable to go after the assailant, is it not?
Taking care of her in the sense that he was stood by her side. I don't know if he has any medical expertise. Like I said, I didn't get the man's name.
But you were comfortable enough to leave this, this friend you've not met with your other friend who you've known in a very, very precarious position. She was unconscious, but you felt comfortable enough to leave him there and go pursue somebody else in defense of your friend.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So again, lucky he was there, right? Like he just shows up and he's just there. And then later on, correct me if I'm mistaken in this, after Miss Moore is back to her feet, after you've shot at the assailant of Miss Moore multiple times, you then have a conversation with this masked individual and Miss Moore on the corner of the hotel.
No, it was after I shot her horse, not her. Like I said, I had no intent to kill her. But
Sure.
yes, I did have a conversation with that gentleman and Misty.
Okay. But I'm gonna take a moment here and divert. How good of a shot are you?
I would certainly say I'm a fairly decent shot. I do a bit of hunting in my free time when I get the chance to. Yeah.
How far away was the subject on the horse when you were starting to fire?
It'd be difficult to say. I'm not exactly the best judge of distance.
Well, I would imagine you'd have to be a pretty good judge of distance if you're to shoot a long rifle at somebody. You would probably want to know like how far you were shooting at, correct?
You just kind of point the gun and shoot, sir. I'm not sure.
So you're not a very good shot, is what you're saying.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay, so you don't have enough
confused.
expertise to say that how far away you were from the person because of your lack of experience with firearms and shooting at range.
I wouldn't say it comes from a lack of shooting at range. I don't normally, when I go hunting, I don't normally take out some sort of measuring tool and measure my distance between me and any animals that I've shot in the past.
Okay. And typically, where, if you don't mind me asking, since you are a hunter, where do you usually hunt? And like, what's
Lemoyne.
Okay, and is this like a plain sort of area, open fields?
No, the Lemoyne isn't really too much open fields and plains. It's there's some swamps. There certainly are some plains off over near roads, but I don't really head out that way all too much. There is some slight open plains to the north of Saint Denis, but
Okay. And would you say typically that you hunt with good visibility? You don't typically hunt when it's foggy out, correct?
it doesn't really make too much of a difference. I've been known to hunt late at night sometimes. Helps me clear my head a bit. It can be dark at times.
Ah. And you would shoot at range at night, and you feel comfortable doing that.
Comfortable enough, I suppose, to do it. Yeah.
And do you shoot at moving targets typically? Is that your experience?
Animals don't typically sit still. Of course, it would be ideal if they did.
Okay. So let me get this correct. You, based off your experience of shooting animals moving at night, you are able to distinguish your shots at a horse versus the rider pretty succinctly and successfully. You feel very comfortable that you would not hit a rider of a horse while they're moving at night at distance.
Yeah, a horse is pretty big compared to a person. I'm not sure if you're familiar, but
honestly, sir, I don't know that well, we can talk to some law enforcement about this, but I don't believe that's a thing you can say with any level of certainty, especially at night at distance. But
if you'd like, I could bring my horse in the courtroom and I could stand next to it. It's a pretty big horse.
Yes, but bullets, as you are well aware, don't always go where you guide them. But and again, I might digress for the moment.
They will, yes, sir.
Okay, so you get done shooting at the assailant's horse, which the person was riding it. And you're now talking to Miss Moore after you feed her a tonic. And there's, again, the gentleman in black.
Mm-hmm.
Who you still at this point don't inquire to his name?
He never proffered it. And when a man is wearing a mask, usually they're not the type to give it out. To be quite frank, when he first walked up to me, I was having a smoke. I was just kind of taking in the scenery.
Mm-hmm.
I was a little concerned at first, but after a short conversation, he seemed nice enough. Like I said, folks that wear masks in town don't normally proffer any names. I was also quite surprised that the Rangers never asked him to take his mask off in town.
Again, we're not talking about the Rangers. We're talking about you in this moment. So again, this person that you didn't necessarily trust, you felt comfortable enough leaving with your unconscious friend with them while you trounced off to go play hero. And then you come back to then talk to this man, and again, don't even thank him or ask his name for taking care of your friend.
I don't believe you asked if I thanked him. Did you?
Did you?
Are you asking me that question now?
All right, we're gonna move on from this. So my point being is that you then have Sergeant Frazier come up to you and say that you're under arrest, correct?
Yes.
Okay. He then puts handcuffs on you.
Yes, he immediately put handcuffs on me.
Okay. So at this time, is there any doubt in your mind that Sergeant Frazier is not law enforcement?
Not law enforcement, no. His experience in law enforcement, potentially, at least after he couldn't really tell me what I was being arrested for.
So you are under arrest, and you recognize that you're under arrest.
Excuse me, apologize. Luke, could you see what's the rackets about downstairs, please?
I got it.
And gag it, please.
Yes, at that point, I certainly believed myself to be under arrest.
Okay. And you believe the person with you is a law enforcement officer?
Hello?
Yes. At that time, I thought that from what I had seen, it seemed he was a law enforcement official.
And you said he gave you orders to go to the Western Ranger Station, correct?
No. We just kind of went back and forth about what I was under arrest for. He never outright demanded that I march to the Ranger's office. I just stood by his side and I was waiting for him to lead me there. We did get a few steps off of the corner curb towards there before he turned back around and stopped. But he never outright said, walk with me to the Ranger's office or walk yourself to the Ranger's office. I was just following him.
Did he give you any orders to move?
No, like I said, he seemed a little bit flustered. At one point, he accused me of belittling him for a stutter, which I didn't do. I was asking if he was all right, but no, he did not at any point say, walk with me, come with me, go with me to the ranger's office. He just kept repeating, you're under arrest, before saying you're under arrest for murder.
Okay. So at such a point, you end up getting hogtied, correct?
Yes.
And then he throws you over his shoulder, correct?
Yes.
And he starts walking away. At this point, where do you think you're going?
I figured I was going to the sheriff's office.
Okay.
I could see from beneath his arm that that's where we were headed.
Okay, so you knew that the sheriff's office was that direction, and you were heading in that direction.
Yes.
Okay. And then all of a sudden, because again, you're over his shoulder, right? So you could see behind him pretty clearly.
You want a lawyer to sue him for that?
I was looking beneath his arm, between there and the floor. I wasn't really. If you've ever been hogtied and put over a man's shoulder, it kind of hurts to crane your neck up.
Okay, I hear what you're saying. I got you. But then suddenly you are dropped to the ground, correct?
Yes, I was suddenly on the floor.
Okay, and then again, this man in black, this wonderful person to you, comes up, and your testimony is that he takes a knife and unties you.
Yes.
Okay, so he cuts the ropes on you.
Yes.
Okay, were you face down at the time? Face up?
I was face down.
Okay, were your hands behind your back?
They had been tied behind my back.
So they
He
were
had
behind
taken
your
the
back.
cuffs off.
And then he cut, this masked man cut you free with his knife.
Yes.
When you fell, how did that feel? Did that hurt when you hit the ground?
It certainly didn't feel great.
Okay. Did you get maybe a little pop of adrenaline?
I wouldn't say so, no. I've taken tumbles off of horses before, unfortunately.
Sure, but I mean, this must have been surprising to you.
I suppose, but not enough to elicit me to, be super upset, or certainly not enough to get my adrenaline going.
Okay, so you were calm.
I was concerned about the state of my future and my freedom, considering I was being arrested for a crime that I didn't commit.
Okay, so you were neither
Murder,
calm
that is.
nor upset.
You asked if I had adrenaline going, not if I was upset.
Well, you just said that you weren't upset. That's what you just said. So we're going to move on from that. You then find yourself free of your bonds. And then your testimony is that you back up into a corner, and then suddenly the sergeant is coming at you with a knife?
No, I said that he started punching me at first, which I then was blocking. After he was unable to get through my guard, he then pulled out a knife and started stabbing me.
Ah, he started stabbing you after he punched you. So my question is this, though. When he was punching you, why did you not just put your hands up? And basically, it seems like he was trying to subdue you. Why did you not just stop resisting and get back into custody? What was stopping you from doing that?
Because he was trying to punch me in the face.
Which one typically does when somebody is freed from their bonds and they may be trying to escape.
I wasn't. If I was trying to escape, I would have ran, but I didn't run.
However, you then said that you were defending yourself, correct?
When he started punching me in the face, yes.
Do you believe it to be lawful to defend yourself against an officer of the law in their lawful duties?
When he starts punching you in the face when you have not attacked him, yes, I would say so.
So when you're considering if you've escaped their custody, that is not that is so in your lawful right to defend yourself against a law enforcement officer.
I didn't escape his custody. I would say I was maybe removed from his custody at most, but I was stood
I keep forgetting.
at his side.
I keep forgetting. This gentleman in black were, again, so convenient. He just removed you from his custody, and it's just a happenstance that, oh no, I guess the officer is just starting to go crazy and attack me now.
And by defend myself, I want to make it clear, I did not return any punches at him or anything like that. I was just defending myself the entire time by way of blocking his punches.
Okay.
Only when he started repeatedly trying to stab me, and I exclaimed, "What are you doing? I'm not fighting back," did I then feel like my life was in danger. A knife can do a lot to a person, as I'm sure you can probably imagine.
I don't disagree with that. However, I do disagree with why did you not attempt to run away?
Well, as you mentioned earlier, I was backed into a corner
Well, this is
between
your
him and the office.
this is your testimony. But again, you're a skilled fighter in hand-to-hand combat, correct?
I would say that I'm certainly proficient.
Ah, okay. But you've done rings around people. You've done the loops of fighting, correct? Where essentially one fighter shifts their direction one way or the other to turn yourself around another individual while in a fight.
Yes, it's hard to do that from a corner, though.
But I would imagine it's easier to do that from higher up.
Pardon?
Oh, you were on the stairs, you said. Again, if you were in the corner, you were on the stairs, correct?
Yes.
So you had a higher ground than the sergeant. He was below you.
Yes.
So shouldn't that have made it much easier for you to get around him?
From a corner?
Well, corners aren't infinitely deep. You have room to move. It wasn't like he put you into a small corner. You weren't in a pocket. You weren't in a peninsula. You were in a position where you're in one corner of this two double doors.
So, pardon, I just want to get this straight. You were suggesting that I run away from the police officer. Is that what you suggesting that I should have done?
Well, you said that you were in fear. So, again, that fear then got you to the point of you were in hand-to-hand combat with this man. You stayed in the corner. You didn't say anything. And instead of trying to get yourself...
I said, "What are you doing? I'm not fighting back." I believe I've mentioned that a couple of times.
And then you don't attempt to get yourself into a better position. So your instincts as a fighter to not put yourself in the corner never kicked in, correct?
My instincts at the moment were, well, hopefully he'll see that I'm not returning any punches, that I'm only blocking, and that he'll realize, oh, I'm not a threat, and that he would presumably either maybe lasso me again if he really wanted. I'm not quite sure, but...
Okay. But you remained in the corner acting defensively.
Yes, like I said, I had no intent of running away or resisting arrest.
And where was Miss Moore in all this?
I did not see at that time. As I said, I was too busy defending myself from him.
Hello?
When you're in a fight, typically, you keep your eyes on your opponent and not on people that are bystanders.
Okay, based off of your training as your proficient training as a hand-to-hand combat individual, yes? Keep your eye on your opponent.
Yes, typically when I'm in the ring, I don't look away. That's how you get punched in the face.
Okay. So basically, your testimony is that as soon as you found yourself up, Sergeant Fraser just focused and attacked you.
He certainly turned towards me and started punching me when I had not attacked him, yes.
Okay. And then at some point, your testimony is he pulls out a knife and starts slashing at you.
Yes.
Okay. And then...
and my injuries as well. As I said, I believe it was a Dr. Calloway.
We have the testimony of other people. We have your injuries on record. And then in this defense, you then say that you pull a gun on a law enforcement officer and shoot them.
In defense of my life, yes.
Even though you clearly have stated that you knew you were under arrest.
Yes. Unfortunately, being under arrest doesn't matter much when you're dead.
So you believe he was acting unlawfully, is what you're saying?
I certainly would say so, yes.
Okay. This is all the questions that I believe I have for him.
I would like to make one last note. I do believe in the warden's testimony, he did mention the man in the black
I want
mask.
this stricken. Whatever the witness has to say now is immaterial. He is not being questioned by either counsel.
That is for any other redirect, Mr. Crumbetti.
Sure.
He wants to get to the warden now.
Let me think here. Sorry, I was thinking about my ex-wife. Let's see. Okay. So, Mr. Brighton, right? Like,
Yes, sir.
I'd like to say before, like, this is something that has never happened to you before, correct?
No, I've never had any problems with any
My cat
members
is
of law
screaming
enforcement in
outside
the
right
past.
now. I wanted to wrap this up like a while ago.
You know, I've
Ugh.
made friends with quite a few in the Saint Denis area and beyond. Unfortunately, I don't get out to Blackwater all too much. But no, I've
Right.
never been arrested. I've never even been detained before, I don't believe. I've, on a couple of occasions, helped law enforcement. I've been deputized once or twice in matters of extreme need, I suppose you could say.
Once I get to that.
And that's all it was. You've never had any further negative interactions with law.
No, not particularly. I'd like to think that I count quite a few among my friends.
Okay.
I'd certainly never want to do anything to hurt them.
And I'd like to ask a question about this. Once again, this Man in Black, just because it keeps coming up a lot during the court case. The Man in Black. Can you, from the start to the end of like what happened, can you tell us like what he was like, what he was doing? Like, was he getting himself involved? Was he being aggressive towards you or anybody else within your group?
He wasn't particularly being aggressive towards me at all. The only outright aggression that I would have seen would have been when he had ran up with Misty to assist in their acts, and then his follow-up
Their
with
unlawful
his
acts.
interaction with the warden.
Okay, so he ran up with Misty, and that's when everything kind of popped off.
Yes.
Okay. All right. No further questions, Your Honor.
My cat is going crazy. I gotta finish this up. All right.
All right.
I just want to finish
Any
up.
other? Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
That was your last factual.
That was yes. You're great and powerful. Yes.
We'll see how that goes.
My cat is doing fucking nuts.
All right. Before I go to chambers, I want to go ahead and do the character witnesses. State, do you have any character witnesses?
I mean, no, we would talk about mitigating. Do you want closings at all, Your Honor?
We can do closing. Let me go ahead and get his. I mean, I guess we can do the closings first. I mean,
I will try to be brief. I know we're going a
that's
little
fine.
long.
That's fine.
Okay. I apologize. I had salt. Did you want me to go for closing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry for interrupting. We were.
I'm sorry. Do I have to salute? Are you Navy?
No. It's for the funeral.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Your Honor, I had a prepared closing, but I'm going to just be brief for everyone's time. We've heard evidence of a crime that was committed. Mr. Brighton unlawfully shot at an individual who was unlawfully assaulting somebody else. He shot at her while she was fleeing. She did not close a clear and present danger to anybody around, and yet he decided to take the law into his own hands and fire at this individual. Now, while I am no shooter myself, and I don't have experience in firearms, shooting at somebody who's fleeing away at night and saying you're shooting at their horse, I believe is folly. Even a well-trained marksman would have a hard time saying that they would only be able to hit a horse hit a horse at range at night of a moving target, rather than saying I can for sure not hit that rider. On top of that, his actions led to the death of another individual. Regardless if it was this person having a heart attack, or if this person was going to like stub their toe and that amount of pain sent them over the edge to die, his actions are what caused that person to fall off that horse, and then that immediately led to their death. while he may not have hit her with the bullets, his actions, his shooting, led to her death. And while manslaughter is a more appropriate charge here during his processing, and again, to Mr. Crimbetti's credit, we believe that he was not worthy of getting a manslaughter charge, so we pled it down to a lesser charge of attempted murder. The problem is that going forward, he continues to be obstinate with law enforcement officers, particularly Sergeant Fraser, when he's arrested. He says that he was not given orders, but I don't know any law enforcement officer that would ever arrest somebody, know that the station's right over there for them to be detained, and not tell them to move in some direction. And then after he was obstinately not moving, Sergeant Fraser then tied him and started dragging him over there. During that time, Misty Moore, under oath, said that she tackled Sergeant Fraser, which freed Mr. Brighton. And I'm going to even backtrack and forget about how Mr. Brighton was freed, whether or not he got loose on his own accord or somebody else freed him. The mere fact that he did not just try to immediately surrender himself and say, I give up, and just essentially quit, shows me that he's still resisting. He was in the act of resisting by not listening to Sergeant Fraser. He's continuing the act of resisting by not basically going prostrate and allowing the officer to arrest him. And then the gunfire starts happening. He shoots one officer, then he shoots out two other officers, according to testimony of Director Smith, which he does not deny, as he's running away. So the charges of assault of a civil servant stand, resisting arrest stand. And I believe the charge of attempted murder, although it is manslaughter, I believe is a lesser charge, and I do not believe he should be punished for the extent of his days for this, because I do believe this is a one-time offense for this man. But he is clearly guilty of all these charges, Your Honor. That is all.
All right, Mr. Crumbetti, your statement.
Hello, Your Honor. You're great and powerful. Well, I'm going to start this off with our closing. That Mr. Brighton, as I said in the beginning, he is a man that has been helpful to his community. I mean, he's a business owner. He's family with people around here. He knows people. They know him. He's a face that they can go to when they need issue. Now, this incident that happened, it's an unfortunate incident, but I don't think that we could say that Mr. Brighton was the cause of death for this woman's, dearly departed, whatever. Because one, there was no record of that. Like, there was no autopsy to see the cause of death. She could have been very sick. She could have had many different issues, but that's not the point. The point is that my client, he's not the kind of man to go around to hurt people, to not listen to law, to beat up lawmen. All right, I've gone around quite a bit. I've talked to a lot of people. I go from here to every sheriff's office around the state, looking for people to represent, talking to people, getting their stories, getting the stories of others.
This is good.
And I've heard a lot of things about Mr. Brighton. A lot of things. And honestly, he's got more honor than anyone I've ever really met.
Oh my God, look at him.
Not only has he been serving the people by giving money to the orphanages, by helping people with his business, by donating to the churches, but just yesterday, as you could see, he is messed up pretty bad because he was defending our great union from these, what do they call themselves, anti-unionists in the city of Saint Denis. He took up weapon and he stood knowing that he could die, that him and everyone else that was there could fall, could die, and lose their life. And he was there to try to protect the city and the values that this great, great state holds. Now, Mr. Brighton, he's not perfect. None of us are. But I know that Mr. Brighton would never commit terrible accusations against him. And like I said before, Mr. Payne, with his statement, he painted a clear picture from the outside. He was watching it. Either way, I just hope when you make your decision, you realize that Mr. Brighton doesn't deserve to be stained by this arrest, to be stained by these accusations. We all know what reputation does to people. We've seen it.
This is good.
He's not an Alejandro. He's not a Bean Gang. He's not any of the terrible people that have been around. He's none of these people. He's just a man who's doing what he can to help those in need. If you were sick and you were dying, he would give you a shirt off his back to help you. Just like how he sat yesterday to give his life for those that could not fight for themselves against these anti-unionists. So I do hope when you think about the future of Mr. Brighton, you realize that he has a lot more to offer. And he's not the criminal that everyone thinks he was painting him to be with these charges. So I do hope that you'll rule in his favor.
Yep.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. We are going to go into recess for approximately 5 minutes. I will be back here in 4:10 to give my ruling. I appreciate both the state and the defense for being here and being so well adjusted and polite to each other, having the decorum in the courtroom, as well as doing justice, I think, on both sides.
Okay.
So until then, we're going to go into recess, Marshall.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that was good. He's a good witness.
Partner. Holy shit, that's a big flag.
He's a good
Sorry,
witness,
Marshall.
too. And good closer.
Oh shit.
Closing. Mr. Crumpety, if I can for a moment.
Of course.
Yeah, I want to apologize for my outburst. I apologize during my witness up there. I didn't mean
No,
to.
no, it's fine. It's fine.
It's one of those things where you know how it goes sometimes. You expect a witness to say something, and you just you scream it in your head, and then it just kind of comes out sometimes.
I understand.
It's just
Your job is you're doing your job. You're doing everything. I don't take anything personally. You know, we're both doing our jobs. You know.
No. I was just saying the outburst of the expletive. I apologize for that.
No, I appreciate that, and I appreciate you helping me out with everything you do. I'm glad that we were able to, have good, come to hot meetings when we talk.
Yes. No. And again, this is well fought. No matter which way this goes, I think you did an excellent job representing him. And also, it's much easier when your client actually has a level of integrity.
Yes, this is a lot easier than Alejandro. Yes.
And yeah, he was an excellent witness. Sure. And again, I do not want to be clear. I do not want to make an example of him. I just think he did take a step off the wrong path.
Maybe I don't know. Sorry.
Yeah. However this shakes out,
right.
Let him know that if he does, we are depending on how the judge rules. Like if he does rule with some fines and time, I think we can work around that a little bit and get that reduced, even if he finds guilty. Because I agree, this is not a person who's going to be a recidivist. I don't believe so.
Mm-hmm.
So even if he does get guilty, you can extend to your client that we will work with him on seeing about getting his record expunged if necessary.
Would you about my character witness callback? Should I call him back when the judge gets back, or how do you want to do this?
I think if he gets a not guilty, I don't think you need to worry about it. But if he does get a guilty before sentencing occurs, just talk to the judge. Like, would you like to hear from our character witness?
Of course.
And I have really my position on this will also be mostly in the favor of your client, but. My only end is in the future he needs to be listening to law enforcement and
right.
But other than that, yes, good court meeting. I enjoyed it.
I'm glad we were able to schedule this to have this done. This was good. Yeah.
I keep on running a little bit too long. I need to make things a little bit more pithy.
Well, it's because it's the cases that we're taking are very detailed. That's why there's a lot of people involved. That's why.
Yeah. But
although
anyway.
Missy Moore, I don't know what.
I wouldn't have called her because my whole thing was.
She was the only other witness that was part of it.
I know.
Oh.
And my whole point was like, yeah, well, she just got arrested, so really, how trustworthy is she?
Oh, I just needed her to fucking describe what she saw.
Yeah.
She went on this tangent.
I know, man.
Oh.
I know the feeling of being on open examination and you can't get them to say what you want them to say.
Yeah, it was. I just like what I did, Alejandro. I just told, listen, just state the facts, and that's it. And then he went on a, I liked it. I'll do it again. I was good at it. Tangent. I'm like, why? Why would you do this?
And they're like, oh yes, no, he ordered me to do it, and then I wanted somebody else to stop me because I can't possibly be held accountable for my own actions.
Fuck. I can't. But no, that was well put. I'm interested to see how this ends.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
either
glad,
way,
I'm glad I
either way,
became
I
an
believe,
attorney.
yeah, I believe justice will be served, even if he does get not guilty. I'm okay with that. I don't think the department will hold any bad blood. So yeah, I think either way this goes, I think justice will be served well today.
Of course, I agree.
Well, anyway, I'll let you get back to your client, Mr. Grimbetti.
Thank
just
you.
wanna
I
say-
appreciate it. I appreciate the kind words.
Yeah, of course. So, Bannerman, what do you think? 50-50? 50-50?
Possibly. Hard for me to say. I unfortunately arrived late. I only just got back after, well, helping Caroline after yesterday's events.
But I may have, and I'm going to talk to probably Marshal Kretz about this, but I may have a possible job for you in the future.
All right.
So ESO is going through some administrative changes, and there may be a change in leadership, and then there's also an issue with their staffing right now. I'm hoping that what we may be able to, or may need to do, and we'll be able to do, and again, this is something if you're interested in, and I have to clear this with the other marshals. Would you be interested in helping helping me and whoever is in the sheriff's position kind of get the sheriff's department in a little bit better shape?
I would, yes. ESO, there has unfortunately been a history of inconsistencies and struggles they've had. So if there's anything I can do to help, I would be more than happy to. So.
Okay. And this wouldn't be me just asking you to do this alone. I would be also rolling up my sleeves, as it were, and assisting in this endeavor. I think there's opportunities in that department to clear up some training issues and get people more in line with what I'm seeing in the Ranger's office as far as their work is concerned.
Yes, sir.
And I'm hopeful that with Marshall and then also myself, we can get them into a place where people feel like they want to be hired in the sheriff's department, as opposed to right now they seem to be fleeing it like a sinking ship.
Absolutely, sir. I'd be more than happy to help.
Okay. I just wanted to run that by you. I mean, nothing's in stone yet, but I just wanted to know if you were interested or not. Okay. All right. Okay. In the meantime, I'm gonna talk to Sean for a moment, and then we'll see what the justice has to say.
Of course, sir.
Okay, Sean.
Yes, Stanley. How's it going?
Okay, we're gonna see how this all plays out. No matter what happens, don't worry. I got your back. We will.
I appreciate it, man.
We will take it as it comes.
All right.
Sir.
Thank you, Stanley.
Oh, excuse me, sir.
I don't know.
Yeah, let's go either way. Like,
Oh.
All right. Start with the top. One thing that did concern me, Mr. Stanley, I'm not gonna lie, is hearing how Mr. Thomas was brought in, because I wanted to make sure that I had it worded correctly, so I waited till I got to my desk so I could bring out the law book. But it does state arresting officers must announce their department and the reason for the arrest when they are placing someone in handcuffs. You do not need to list every charge in the case of multiple crimes at the stage, but the most relevant. So not having an answer and him being brought in is kind of concerning, especially when he's asking what is happening and why he's being put in cuffs.
If I may, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
According to the witness testimony, the accused, he was charged with murder, and he, on the stand, said as much. He may have questioned the charge, but he was aware of a charge that was coming in. It was not the final charge.
If I may, Your Honor, he didn't say that until he had hogtied me. He said I was under arrest, and it took about 5 minutes until he, out of the blue, said, "You're under arrest for murder." But he had already said, "You're under arrest."
Okay.
And tried
But
to take...
you were later addressed. Of
Yes,
why,
sir.
even if it was 5 minutes, you were addressed.
Well, before he left the street corner, he was informed.
My apologies. Then, Stanley, I do apologize. Let's see. All right, at the top, the court has reviewed the charges in full, including the allegations of attempted murder. As far as the charge of
That should get
attempted
dropped.
Murder,
That should be
Mr.
not guilty.
Thomas, can you step forward, sir, with your lawyer?
That should be a not guilty. Like, we didn't put in an
The
autopsy
charge of
report.
attempted murder, I'm going to dismiss Mr. Brighton.
Yeah, that's fair.
Thank you, Your Honor.
There's no clear showing of malice, no deliberate intent to take a life. I do understand, Mr. Stanley, where you were with the shooting, but even you stated at the beginning, you think it's wrong place, wrong time. And right before I went into my chambers,
Yeah.
your exact words to him was his actions is what caused that. But I need to remind everyone in this courtroom, there is someone that else is involved who is 6 feet under, who started this whole ordeal.
Yes.
His actions, yes, may have been wrong, rash, which we will get to that, Mr. Thomas. That does not mean that there's not other matters we have to address. But he saw his friend get attacked. He reacted, granted, shooting a gun in town limits, et cetera, But, Mr. Stanley, you know I'm a fair man. As I stated earlier, there's no autopsy report. There's nothing in the documents other
it's
than
fair.
the discovery stating that that person did not have one bullet wound in them.
Yes.
They could have had a heart attack because they thought they just got away with choking out Miss Misty.
It's true.
We don't know.
And he's
I don't
absolutely
have
right.
that documentation. That's all speculation. I can't judge this man with the only piece of paper that I have saying, yep, they died, attempted murder on him. Granted, he shot him, but there's no bullet holes, Your Honor. Like, I can't, sir.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm being fair
Yes,
here.
Your Honor.
That being said, Mr. Thomas, like I said, that doesn't mean you're without fault. Interference did occur, whether it's a mysterious man in black or the Lord himself undid your ropes for you while you were sitting there praying for your life because you thought they got you. Authority was resisted. The defendant made the choice in the moment to involve himself where he should not have. Whether born from loyalty or poor judgment, it crossed into unlawful conduct, Mr. Brighton. The court also notes what came after, though, and this is honestly your saving grace. And Mr. Crumbetti, you did him a major service, and I want you to know that. And I want him to know that, as well as the people in this courtroom, to give you a little bit of merit.
Yeah.
Following all of this happening, knowing that he's going to stand before the court and everything, he still aided in the defense of Saint Denis. I heard it was horrible. I bunkered down.
God.
Everyone made sure I was safe. Not one hair on my head was harmed. But the defendant aided in the defense of Saint Denis during a time of violent unrest. When faced with real chaos, he didn't run from it. He stood against it.
Oh my
That does not
God.
erase his prior actions, but it does make it clear that he's not a man driven by malice or contempt for murder. Because the gentleman also, he cooperated. I've heard numerous times tonight that he cooperated when he was told to stop shooting his gun. He instantly did. And I believe that was by the director, correct? I want to make sure I'm stating the right
You're
one
correct,
for the
sir.
record. So he stopped then. When when things got a little hairy and he started acting a little bit too much, he didn't cross that threshold as most would have, as even though he did act rash. With that being said, I am going to find you guilty, as well as what followed after, with the assault on a civil employee, because you brandishing, firing on any type of harm toward my lawman. Now that's a different issue. Not somebody that accosted one of your friends, but somebody that wears a badge. That I will not tolerate. When they tell you to stop, as I just stated, I don't know what made you go 2 out of 3, but it would have looked way better if it was 3 out of 3.
Yeah.
Now you got a face for that. To my understanding, I was looking through the document. Have Mr. Crumbetti, has he paid any type of money? Has he served any type of time?
He served time.
Anything like that?
When he was arrested, he was in the cells for how long do you think, Thomas? For
I believe I was in the cells for a day and a half, potentially 2 days. I was quite tired
Potentially
and
2
recovering
days,
from
yes.
my injuries.
Okay.
He was free to go earlier than that. He just
Indeed.
So it was just personal. It wasn't.
Yeah, he was.
I was
he had to
waiting.
sleep, yes.
I was waiting for the follow-up medical. I didn't want any sort of runaround of I could have potentially injured myself for the knife wounds or anything like that. I waited until I was seen for the follow-up.
Okay.
So he chose that.
And who was the other? Was it a lawman that's not here? Who else was it alleged that you accosted? It was the sergeant, the director,
and it would be also I think it's Junior Ranger Frazier, his brother, Johnny Frazier. So that's Sean's brother.
And that's who's unavailable.
Yes.
No sworn statement, anything like that.
Sorry, sir. I had Saltmakers. Could you repeat that?
There's no type of sworn testimony from him in the discovery or anything like that.
No, just the witness. He has a statement in the discovery file. Yes. And Director Smith, on her testimony, also witnessed him getting shot at by Mr. Brighton.
All right, Mr. Brighton, for the assault, I'm just going to say civil servants. That way I don't butcher all 3 of the people with names involved. I am going to find you guilty of assault on all 3 of them. I will not tolerate any type of aggression toward my lawmen.
So that kind of fucks a civil case.
Us, keep us safe. And as you just saw in Saint Denis, I need more of them. I can't have them worrying about civilians when we have bigger things afoot. I do think that this was just a lack of judgment for you. I do think that you can come back for this. I do not think this is damning or saying that you are not going to be a good member of society, because until now you have been. So just please let this be a small stain, not a permanent one. Show us that this was just a hiccup. As far as obstruction, I am going to also find you guilty of that. So with that being said, total that you're going to owe to the court is going to be $100 in court fees.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then as far as the 4 charges, due to the extremity of everything and the sergeant being involved, I'm going to do a flat fee of $25 per charge, making it an even $200. So it's $100 court fee, $100 for all 4 charges, and that is to be paid to the state. I am going to say no jail time.
Yes.
I'm going to say time served, due to no matter what the reasoning was, but 48 hours was served.
Yeah, I'd agree.
There is not going to be any probationary period.
I agree.
But I do expect this to be paid within the next 24 hours.
Okay.
Of course, Your Honor.
Right.
That is my ruling. Court is adjourned.
Your Honor, may I ask one question?
Yes.
Is it possible for Mr. Brighton in the future to get a expunged record later down the line, as he proves to be a good citizen of the Union, just so he doesn't have this black mark on his record in case he tries to go for something that may bar him from it having that type of record? Is he eligible for expungement?
I believe so. He will be in what was it, Marshall? 30 days.
Yeah, I was about
Correct.
to say it used to be 60, but they got amended to 30.
Okay.
30 without any crimes being committed, that is.
Correct. Even
Of
a
course.
misdemeanor. But I will
Fantastic,
let
thank
you. I will let you know, Mr. Crumbetti, as well as Mr. Brighton. I say this with respect. If you do come back, especially within that 30 days, I promise you, especially involving my lawman, you can kiss any leniency out that door.
I understand, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. You have a good day, and please make sure that gets paid.
Thank you. Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you,
Mr.
Your Honor. You're
Stanley.
great and powerful.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
And Mr. Stanley, you said you needed
So
me.
we'll get the door.
Yes, if I could get you and Marshall Kretz, that would be wonderful.
Beautiful. We can go to my chambers.
Thank you, Stanley.
Of course.
It's our time to move.
I gotta go to sleep now.
Okay, funeral time.
This damn door. That's what took me so long. I got locked in here earlier.
Well, it happens, Your Honor. The keys stick every now and again.
You did great in there.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. Like there wasn't enough to support manslaughter, really, because again, I don't believe the man really. There would have been enough there with the autopsy report and everything else, but I didn't put it in because I didn't really want to stick him with that. I could have gotten there, but
You're being fake. Look at you getting a heart.
I do believe like that was a heat of the moment issue that he had, but it's everything that happened after that I have a problem with.
Oh yeah, and that's why I stuck them with those. I mean, I don't want to say crime of passion because I didn't want to get them going insinuating I was saying him and Misty's a thing, but being friends and everything, it was just ruffians acting stupidly and immature. But honestly, the stem of it, I feel deep down, I feel like justice got served because the common denominator 6 feet under, So
because you're absolutely right. My analogy does not take into consideration the first domino, which is Miss Hilo attacking Miss Moore. That's the first domino.
Because honestly, if I had an autopsy that had one bullet wound, it's evidence. I can't go against it, but you doing it the way you did, and I understand why. I mean, even if it was HUD, then I think that saved us in the long run. So you did the right thing.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Your Honor. I mean, I view that as part of my discretion as a district attorney to adapt charges as they need.
100%. You're taking care of the state. You're making sure somebody's not coming back after us.
Yeah, but I also agree with you. If he does show up on my side of the desk next time,
no leniency.
Yeah, he is.
Let's see if this was a lack of judgment or a turn of character. You know what I mean?
Yes. But anyway, Your Honor, again, I appreciate your ruling. It was fair and I believe just. So, I already talked to Mr. Crumbetti about the case before your ruling, and either way, I was going to be satisfied with whatever result you gave. And I do much appreciate Mr. Crumbetti. He did an excellent job this case.
I just hate. I'm going to say this as kindly as I can. I just hate he don't object to shit.
I mean, yeah, but the thing is that leniency goes the other way too, because like there are certain things I'll object to, like because his lack of objections also leads to me objecting less. There are a few things I'll object to when he just starts giving a soliloquy before asking a question. But yeah, I think it's fine. You always just have to feel out who your dance partner is, I would guess.
Is Kretz come? I don't know.
Well, we can talk about something before Kretz gets here. So, you're aware? Are you aware of what's going on in the sheriff's department currently?
No.
It's kind of in shambles. They've lost nearly all of their department. I believe there's only there's Walker, there's Bishop. I think all the Whitlocks are gone. And then there's, I think, Graves and Knox are the only deputies that I think they have left right now.
Who's the sheriff over there?
Russell, Mr. Marlborough.
Russell.
And he's planning on retiring very soon.
what if we put the marshals at the departments to them?
That's where I'm coming to. So I have an idea, and I wanted to float it past the justices because there's a few things we can do, right? I don't. I think a bad idea would be to push the departments together. I think that's a bad idea. Like put the people in ESO into WRO and rebuild ESO from the ground up. I think that's a bad idea. I think not doing anything for ESO is also a terrible idea. What I think might be a good solution is, and I need to talk to Russell about this to see how he feels, but essentially, if Russell retires, either we do an appointment for the sheriff or we do a vote for the sheriff to take over that position. And then as the undersheriff, we put in a marshal. And then I would also show up someplace in there to help guide them rebuild, if that makes sense. Maybe as a temporary commissioner over there, so to speak.
Well, this is a hypothetical. This is not me saying what needs to be done. I want that stated. What is your opinions on a merger? Just until
terrible
the populace
idea.
grows. Until the populace grows.
The problem is that you have a very different set of trainings between WRO and ESO. And you're going to be pulling people who are in ESO command. And are you going to give them the same rank over in WRO? How is that going to make the other officers of WRO feel? You know what I mean? Like,
right, but it would be vice versa. They would still hold their same rank when they got the East.
But you also have to think you have a different head of a department, right? Where you have Director Smith. And how does Director Smith feel that these individuals would fit into her command structure? And also her, for lack of a better term, to use Darwin's words, their ecosystem. It might throw everything off.
The cause and effect, right? Yes, hectic, chaos, yes. But on the same foot, I feel like that would help bridge the gap of you dealing with, I'm dealing with this department and that department. There would be a standard on both sides of the state.
Well, that's the thing, is that, like, I've always, hopefully you know this about me, I try to move myself around between the two departments to offer my services.
Right.
WRO has used that to, I believe, great success. I mean, you can look at the amount of warrants they supply to the office. Most of my warrants, I did an accounting recently. I have 25 warrants from the Ranger's office for the time period I've been here to the 5 that I've gotten from the sheriffs. I think what may behoove here's my overall plan. And again, this is all hypothetical. This is what I'm thinking. And I've talked to Director Smith about this. I've talked to the sheriff about this. And they both seem to agree this is a pretty good plan moving forward. And I trust them to know their people and how they would respond to these things. My plan would be this. We take down jurisdictional lines temporarily. So ESO, Rangers, they can go to any crime that is in the Union, other than like Guarma and the places that are clearly off limits to our Union officers. During that time, as Sheriff Marlborough retires, we put somebody in as sheriff. The logical choice, if we were to appoint somebody, would be Walker, since he's currently the undersheriff. And then we would then put a marshal in as Walker's undersheriff. My thoughts right now, and again, I want to get Kretz's opinion, but my thoughts would be Bannerman would be this person. And then you would also have me over in their department, just being visible and there to talk with people about charges, crimes, etc. Because I believe there's a deeper problem with the training that's going on at ESO that I don't know if you shift these high command members over to WRO, that's going to get addressed in a way that's not going to cause a lot of unnecessary friction in WRO. WRO is in a really good place right now. I would hate to see it get set back by internal conflicts that might occur around ESO. And I would say not might, I'd say most probably will occur. That way, ESO can remain autonomous. They can still do their jobs, and we can focus on getting them hired up, and getting their department back in a healthy place. With the extra help of myself and the marshals. And again, I would recommend Bannerman. I've talked to Bannerman. He's interested in doing it.
Is there a way you can get me like a rough draft of this so I can present it to the cabinet or the Senate or whatever you want to say?
Yes. I'm currently writing it up right now. However, one thing that I think needs to happen before we leave this room is I think what needs to happen right now, based off of where ESO is at right now, it behooves the state to remove the jurisdictional lines between ESO and WRO. Like their requirements to, communicate when they're crossing boundaries, who can handle what crimes. I think that's something that needs to happen right now.
Do you know how many lawmen we have in the entire roster?
It's been fluctuating too much, but right now, ESO has. I'm discounting, or I'm not including Marlboro, but you have Walker, Bishop. So Walker's under sheriff, Bishop's a lieutenant, and then you have, I believe, Knox and Graves. So you have 4 sheriff's deputies that have recently been around, and the rest, I believe, are going to be gone permanently. From everything that I've been told, that they're gone.
I concur with that.
Yes, that's exactly the sound.
Well, that sounds good, because I had a pressing matter that I wanted to address with you as well.
Okay.
I don't want you using the word interim anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, you're going to be the full-on DA.
That's fair enough.
You definitely proved your merit and your worth. You've been doing God's work. I'm highly appreciative. You make it very easy to follow the rabbit trails, so I thank you for everything you do.
Yeah, it's, I believe, my job. It's the duty of justice to make sure that the judge knows what's going on, and regardless of your verdict, justice is done.
I appreciate you, my friend. Is there anything else? All right, so you're going to get that, get a rough draft. Just send that to me long distance. That's fine.
Okay.
I am fine 100%, and that can be your first act as DA, is just removing that line of.
And it's, to be clear to everybody else,
it's temporary.
It's a temporary suspension of that, because essentially what would happen, let's say the line was still in place. It's then if ESO says well, Westerns just did a arrest over in this jurisdiction, I'm still the one who's going to be prosecuting the arrest. So they could complain about it, but I'm still not going to dump the arrest because it was outside of jurisdictional lines. So I just want to make it codified and more official for the moment, at least.
That's fine. And anything you need a signature on, just keep doing it like before, and I will do my best to sign it as soon as possible, my friend.
Okay. Yeah.
And if I knew how, I would go ahead and give you the promotion. Just make sure. I want to make sure to tell them that your paycheck needs to go up.
Sure. I mean, honestly, Your Honor, I'm perfectly comfortable with my current means.
You're too humble, my friend.
Again, I'm here. I'm a service-driven individual. I'm not doing this for the money, Your Honor. If I was doing this for the money, I would be competing with Mr. Crumbetti and making your life a living hell.
I understand, my friend. Well, thank you for not doing that. And if you need me, I'm a telegram away.
Yes, sir. But other than that, I'm gonna talk to the marshals about the Marshal Kretz about this, and see if we can get the ball rolling on some of this. And then I'll write up something before we enact anything. I'll make sure that it gets to you, and then you can sign off.
I want to see if Kretz is down here actually. Kretz. Oh, man.
He's downstairs, sir.
You scared the shit out of me, Bannerman.
My apologies, sir.
Lurking behind a door, how dare you?
Scaring the judge like that. Do you know what I'm capable of?
Yeah, because if he falls off and he dies, that's manslaughter, Bannerman. I will charge you to the hilt.
You charge him to the fullest extent. Ever since he became marshal, he don't respect me no more.
Kretz is right over there, sir.
Kretz,
Jesus.
big man. I
Yeah.
swore you had the white hat on when you came into court.
No, that's Hans. Hans wears
was
white
it?
hat. Yeah, it's Hans.
Okay. Well, I did want to let you know that Mr. Stanley here and I just had a nice conversation. He can fill you in, but he is no longer interim district attorney. He is now the full-on DA.
Oh,
So
good.
if anyone
Congratulations.
questions that, Bannerman and Kretz, please make sure the word get out that he is not falsing his title. He is the full DA now.
But to be
Yes, sir.
honest with you, Your Honor, I think everybody already considered him the full-on DA.
Well,
So
yeah, but it has,
I know.
Less
but I
writing
just
for
wanna
me
let you
now.
know.
That's all I mean.
exactly, exactly. He technically has more power with me doing that. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fine. Congratulations. I mean, well deserved, obviously.
all right, how's Misty? Where's she at?
Hell, I mean, I'm assuming she's free by now. I wasn't involved in the arrest, Your Honor, as you know. I was standing by your side. There were about 200 lawmen after her, so I'm pretty sure they could have caught her.
Yeah, Crumbetty's great. I love Crumbetty. Sorry, I'm just catching up on chat.
I'm sending a telegram out right now. About I don't know if you've heard, Your Honor, who's back around the Union?
Ooh.
The Washingtons.
All right, get the gallows ready.
Mm-hmm.
So it's true then, sir. Walker's
Oh
still
yeah,
around.
big time. Holt sent me 2 telegrams last night.
Oh, that.
He signed. Yeah, I have to actually stand. Thank God you're here.
Oh no, just thank me.
Let me find this real quick.
Yeah, I was talking to Under Sheriff Walker, and he was giving me a kind of a situation report on the Washingtons. I have no idea who they were.
Imagine. Oops, sorry.
Okay, I'll imagine whatever you want. I'll imagine whatever you want.
They were the Dara, but not natives. That's literally how I can describe it.
Oh, so basically, hopefully it's not going to end the same way.
Yeah, well,
Rampage across the Union.
one of their fellas was responsible for the murder of a ranger.
All right, so he's sending me
That's
files.
my game profile done. I did a while ago, as you will tell by the date.
Okay. Yeah, this is what I was going to ask you about.
Yeah, no, I made that a long time ago. I updated it slightly. One of their fellas, Bishop Cross, then known as Bishop Washington, was in Sisika, and last I heard, he was brutally killed by some people over in Sisika, which good riddance, to be honest. So, then there's one called James, who I think just fled the country for good. I don't think he'll be coming back. So far, the only 2 people who've been spotted are Kyle and Holt, which unfortunately are the 2 most violent ones in the gang. So, yeah.
Didn't I sign a warrant for Kyle when I was DA?
It is still there, Your Honor. If you
Or
go,
AD
if you
or something like that?
if you go into the, excuse me, if you go to the pin board where all our active warrants are posted, and you go all the way up there, you'll see his is the first warrant still there.
Oh yeah, have fun, happy hunting.
Yeah, that brings me to a concern, especially for specifically that warrant. Is that do we have enough? Will we have enough evidence to?
Actually, we probably won't. And then you also got to think statute of limitations is way past.
Well, the warrant once it's signed though is good forever. My issue though is I don't know that we'll have witnesses to this crime, and I don't have any reports on this crime. So
To which one, sorry?
So look at that first warrant for the Washingtons, right? Where's the report for that?
Oh yeah, no, they're definitely if they're not in the in our deep archives, they're gone.
Yeah, so then while the warrant may stand for their arrest, I don't see how I can prosecute this case unless there's witness testimony to it. That's still here.
Which that might be possible, but
I mean,
regardless,
you got 2 witnesses here already.
Yeah. But regardless, handle that. That's good and bad at the same time. And also the DA is going to talk to you. There's going to be a temporary change to law with the jurisdictions, just to help. But he'll go over all that with you.
Oh, Kretz, sir. I've just had a cursory look through the MDTs. Due to the collapse,
I'll talk to y'all later.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
Have a good one, Chief
Good
Justice.
seeing you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Due to the collapse, it seems that Kyle and Holt's profiles are missing. I can get to work getting those set up again.
I would appreciate that, my friend.
Yes, sir.
So, Marshall, I'm hoping that you'll. I've got to get some things in writing, but there are some things that are going to be coming down the pipeline. One thing today, jurisdictional lines are going to be dropping between east and west.
Okay.
Where the rangers and the sheriffs can basically enforce the law wherever they see fit without having to communicate to one another the crossing boundaries. I'm going to
reason
because of part 2 of what I'm going to be talking to you about is ESO's current staffing problems.
Mm-hmm.
ESO has a handful of people left. They, as far as I am understanding it, unless I'm mistaken, there's the sheriff is going to be retiring soon, and by soon I mean very soon. There's then that leaves Walker. I believe all the Whitlocks are gone at this point, or going to be leaving. And I think it's going to be Walker, Bishop, Knox, and Grave. Possibly Oz is still around, but I don't know that he's coming back. So that
yeah,
leaves...
I don't know either.
And the fucking thing is doing the thing. I apologize for the insult. So temporarily, I got to write this up, but my plan is this. And I've talked to the sheriff about this. I've talked to the director about this. I just talked to the judge about this, and they seem to be on board with it. But again, I want to talk to you to make sure that you would be on board with it. I'm going to imagine one of 2 scenarios is going to happen. Either there's going to be a vote for the sheriff, who's going to be taking over, or someone's going to get appointed. And my imaginings, Walker would be appointed. Regardless about how I feel about the man and his police work, he is the most qualified to take that position. My hope would be is that we would be able to take a marshal and supplement their command with putting him or her as the undersheriff in that department.
Yeah, Violet and I already talked to them. Well, we're spending more time over there.
Okay.
We're not gonna be deputies. We're still gonna be marshals. We're just gonna be supplemented, as you say.
Yeah. But I would like to assign a specific marshal for that. My immediate thought was to Marshal Bannerman to get in on this, because I think ESO needs. I think more in-depth training around paperwork, and Bannerman is, I would say, exemplary when it comes to that. And organization, too. I think they could use some better guidance around that. And for my part, I'm going to be spending a lot more time over in Valentine, making myself readily available and basically making that my full-time post until such a time ESO gets into a better position where they have more staffing and we're seeing better results out of that department, if you know what I mean. Currently, right now, I've looked over the warrant request. Over 75% of them come from the Rangers. You guys put up like 5 to 10%. They put in about, again, another 5 or 10%, give or take. Like yours is more like 15. So that's also another worry to me, that I'm not seeing a lot of warrant requests coming out of there. Either there's no crime happening, which we know the Dara was deep in their territories, or it's just not being followed up on appropriately, and I don't know which it is. So my goal would be to help get them back up on their feet when it comes to numbers, training, and getting their command in a better position to be successful in the future. I was curious about what your thoughts would be on this, Marshall, on what you think.
I mean, dropping jurisdictional lines means the marshals are pretty much useless.
No, definitely not. You guys are still the the examples of law enforcement to be followed.
I mean, if the judge is okay with it, I guess, sure.
And this is only temporary, by the way.
If Bannerman also is okay with being over there for a bit and all that, that's fine. I mean, as long as he's okay with it, I'm not going to force him. Even though I literally can, I don't want to force him to do anything.
as long as it's a temporary arrangement, I would like to continue.
Yeah,
my
it'll be
services to the
something.
marshals.
It'll be something like mine. You're not gonna. You're still gonna be a marshal. You're not gonna be given a captain or under sheriff rank. You're just gonna be a marshal. I'm gonna tell him he's a fucking
Acting under sheriff, but you're still a marshal. That's essentially how you'll fit in their structure.
Yeah, it's the same thing with me. I was the interim sheriff, but and then open court came in and I put on my marshal badge. So
yes,
of course, as long as the acting sheriff, whoever's chosen, is okay with it too.
he'll be fine with it.
As a slight in joke with Kretz here, I suppose it is a bit funny now that, well, I'm finally moving over to the east. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is an old standing joke thing. So, yeah, I always tried to take Bannerman from the Rangers over to the east, but I guess finally it's happening for a bit. But yeah, that's fine.
Again,
I mean,
this is all to be temporary too.
Of course. But I've said when it was brought up earlier, I'm more than happy to take the position and help where I'm needed.
yeah, no, I mean, everybody thinks it's a good thing, and sure.
And
I'm
but
fine
I mean,
with
if
it.
you do have worries, please let me know.
I mean, not particularly. Obviously, the whole point of the service, aside from us being the federal, the enforcement arm of the DOJ, is that we are the ones who go around the entire union, right?
So if you wish, we can keep the lines up, and honestly,
I've already told all the Rangers if they need to cross over, they could do whatever the heck they want, and if they see ESO bitches, they can come talk to me. I've already told them. I don't give a shit.
Okay.
ESO, there's like one or two of them at a time. I don't give a shit. And if the ESO bitches, they just tell them I deputize them. I'll fucking lie, but I'll tell them I deputize them. Go fuck yourself. I don't give a shit. There's nobody over there. I told them a billion times already.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And they have been doing so under my quote unquote permission.
Okay. But like I said, this line drop would only be temporary until such a time that staffing gets back up in ESO, and then it'll be back up. And I don't think it diminishes you in any way, Marshall. In fact, we're going to be relying on you a lot more going forward in helping train these new individuals, because there are going to be a lot of new people coming through. I hope, at least.
Yeah, they will. It could go one or two ways. Either one, ESO kicks their own ass and gets more people hired, or they're going to say, oh, why the fuck are we needed now if the Rangers can cross over, and then they all leave. It's going to go one of those two ways.
Yeah, that's why I want to be over there to help communicate what our intentions are. To be very clear that this isn't about WRO taking over the entire territory. It is just strictly about giving support when needed. But again, I personally, I don't like the jurisdictional lines. I think they are ultimately much like you say, you're just giving people permission rather than and then covering later. I think it puts needless conflict there, but sometimes you need to focus on east and west, and that is important to be able to have.
Correct.
But for the time being, I'm going to be putting out a statement saying that the jurisdictional lines are temporarily going to be withdrawn, so there will not be requests, or you will not be required to then say you're going into the east, going into the west to operate lawfully.
Yeah, all right. Perfect.
And also, I appreciate you both showing up for court, even though this was not the. This is a more bland case, and I keep blathering on. I just hope not to waste people's time.
No, you're fine. It's our job.
It's our job to be here.
Yeah, we'll always be here when we can.
Yeah, but I like
I'll
entertaining
always
people.
be. No, you definitely do, especially when you screamed "fuck."
Okay, all right. That was a moment of passion. All right.
Yeah, no, it was definitely passion. I can tell you that.
And I was not expecting that answer, and that may happen more often than you think.
Well, don't ask the question unless you know what the answer is going to be.
100% the rule that every lawyer should follow. It's rule number 1. You're right.
Yeah, well, I don't ask any questions if I know they're going to give me the one I don't want. So,
yes, that was me falling into it, and I need a drink. I don't drink, but I need a drink.
Yeah, well,
I happen to have some whiskey on me.
let me send this. Don't let me send this out real quick because mayor's hosting a little celebratory honoring thing for the people involved yesterday in the taking back of Denis. So I just want to let everybody know.
Oh, and I'm glad that you all are are doing well after that? Because it sounds like it was a very harrowing experience.
It was horrifying. But
Yeah,
as I tell the people around that have been asking about the Washingtons, I tell them the Washingtons was pretty much yesterday every single day.
Okay.
Without the cannons and Maxim wagons and all that, of course.
Okay. Yeah. So any extra? I'm going to be asking if this is the only like investigative files that you got. If you have any more
That's
on these
my
guys.
game profile. No, that's all that. All should be in there. I mean,
okay.
You're free to. I think you have the keys to the arrest logs, and you don't. You can let me know, and we can see if we can get you a set of keys for that. And you can see if you see anything in there. But that's pretty much what we had stacked up. Again, I mean, these people, they all woke up around 2 a.m. under the Eastern Stars, so not a lot of lawmen were around. It was usually just me and maybe a couple others. So it was pretty hard to catch them.
Okay. Well, I will start digging into these files and catch up as best I can. But if they're as terrible as you say, yeah, if you can, please give out any information to anybody else who may not be familiar with them. If you can give descriptions or get, like Bannerman was saying, get their old mugshots up in the filing cabinet so that everyone knows who they're looking for.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. No, most people know what they look like. Bear pelts. It's literally as a bear pelts. They were bear pelts. That's literally what they use. All black with black bear pelts. One of them has white silver hair, all like fade like to the back like mine, and the other one has dark. They're easy to spot. Like as soon as you see two people wearing bear pelts, one of them with white hair, one of them with dark hair, you're going to see that it's Kyle and Holt, Washington. So.
Okay.
If you see them, don't let them know you're the DA, by the way. They will probably kidnap you and torture you.
Sounds like they would do that anyway.
Yeah, well, mostly the people in positions of some power in the government.
Hey man, I'm just a guy.
We'll do our thing. But alas. Anyways, I'm going to be moving to Saint Denis for the day.
Why is that person carrying... Can we go look at someone's just carrying someone by the hotel. I don't know what that was.
Is it a large man carrying a woman?
Yeah.
Okay, that probably was Crazy Bear and Bernadette.
Couldn't really see through the fog. I just saw somebody carrying somebody else and I wasn't sure what was going on. Maybe they're going to the hospital. What am I doing? I don't investigate things. All right. Anyway, Bannerman, I'm gonna write some things down, and then I'll let people know once I get this taken care of before I send it to the judges. I'll send it to you guys so that way you can see what will be coming down the pipeline before it happens.
Alrighty.
Understood. All right. Again, Marshals, thank you much. I will be in touch.
All right, my friend.
Of course.
Yeah, he does bring up a point, like, yeah, bringing down the jurisdictional lines really kind of takes away his, fuck, I'm doing the thing Ava does. It really brings down, the kind of, the little bit of the point of the marshal's office, because they are the ones who cross jurisdictional lines and give people permissions, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But also at the other side of that, it needs to be done right now because ESOs are just in a really fucking bad spot right now. Okay, I'm set. No one's around, it looks like. So I think I'm gonna have Stanley go to sleep for a bit. Because, you know, he's a sleepy boy. But yeah. Oh yeah, we got what we needed. We got our guilty pleas, or sorry, guilty verdicts on what I wanted to have guilty. I really, yeah, it was a super stretch. Like, I could have gotten a manslaughter with, I needed the reports and all this other stuff, but honestly, like, yeah, it's mostly him being, or Brighton being obstinate, and the slashing of the knife and all this sort of stuff. Like, he was the only person to say that there was a knife other than Misty, who, yeah, you know, is a liar and a criminal, so not your best backup witness. I wasn't expecting him to bring up Otis as much, so it's just like, yeah, Otis just happens to be there to do all these things that, you know, you could have done yourself. It's weird. Weird that. Okay. But anyway, I am going to call it good. Yeah, that's it. I gotta actually go stretch my legs, do some things. Hopefully that was 3 hours. Jesus Christ. I always want to make these things shorter, but I just go so long because I'm fucking can't shut my mouth. Okay. Well, I'm gonna boop. So law documents, go away. Stanley is going to just sit here. Needs a bath. He's gonna sleep it off, but calls it a good victory. $200. Call it good. What? Why are you still here? Bye.